All right, welcome back to Going for Broke. I'm your host, Benjamin Smith. As always, I'm joined with my co-host, Jacob Smith.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh,
You like the sexy glasses reveal?
that was good. Oh, I forgot where you were, and then you took it. Oh, there he is. Oh, what a guy.
Tell him for your pussy.
Yeah, you guys better hide your moms and your dads. This podcast episode is coming out every single week wherever you get your podcasting. I want to do a quick shout out to our sponsor for this week, which is Sandgrain Studios. Use no dogs, and you can get 10% off of any of these posters I got there. That's sandgrainstudios.com. Thank you guys for joining us. This week, we're going to go over probably why we can't start at 5:30 still anymore. But
Oh, dude.
no, I'm just
I
kidding. I'm just
know.
kidding.
That was brutal, dude.
I
I
looked at
missed
my
one episode. I missed 1 week. Don't you do that to me.
No,
Don't you do
no.
that to me. I was moving. I was fucking moving.
That's right.
But no, yeah, I was doing a job, and I finished the job up, and they were on vacation. So if you're on vacation, dude, I'm smoking weed in your house. I'm just saying it right now. I'm not in the house, but I'm on the back porch probably at lunchtime ripping a
Yeah.
little bolski on your back porch. And the whole time I was cleaning up, I was like, oh, I'm forgetting something, dude. Like, I don't know what I'm forgetting. And then I get 10 minutes out of the town I was working in, and I was like, fuck. I left like a bowl and a jar of weed on the back porch, like right next to their kids' like toys. They have like a baby who I was like, fuck, they could not come home and see
yeah.
a fucking bowl on their kids' like swing set or whatever. Yeah, it was fucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had to turn around and go grab that.
I put back as my text message was like, I just saw the first part was like, hey, can we start at 8? And I was like, yeah, sure, dude. And then you had the explanation. I was like, oh, I hope I don't come off as like that I'm pissed off.
You know what? Fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I'm sick of this shit.
Anyway.
But yeah, no, we're here. We're here.
Yep. We're live from our grandmother's basement right now.
No one's in their grandma's basement. I don't know what we're talking about. I'm in my Grammy's basement.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Grammy, dude. She's OG. She's right above me right now. Shouts out to Grammy. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but I don't think she can because we've been fucking down here. Who said that?
Yeah, that was weird. Somebody said that.
I don't know who said that.
It was a ghost.
Unless Grammy's just like ignoring it. We're going to town. But dude, we lived on our own forever, and then we got priced out of our own town by the Lincolns, and so now we can't afford to live in our own town. But the rent was too high, whatever. I was already paying over 2 G's rent. I was like, I'm done with this, dude. I was like, Lincoln, nah.
Yeah.
Thank God for John Wilkes Booth. But dude, so we got priced out, so we had to move back in with our Grammy, who lives in the same town, so it's not bad. She has room for us, whatever.
Yeah, she's like 4 blocks over or something like that, right?
Not even 2 blocks over.
Perfect.
But so we're back in here, and I just think about when I first moved in. I was like 19, maybe 20. I don't know. I don't think I was 20. I was probably 18, 19. Right in there.
Yeah.
And dude, biggest dickhead, dude. Thinking back, I was the biggest dickhead. I mean, I shared a wall with my Grammy, dude. I would just be smoking bongs in there, dude. I would just be smoking in this room. Dude, this room was like the size of a fucking cruise ship room. This room, like it's small in that middle room. And dude, I would just be fucking. At one point, I was like, "All right, the weed smells too bad. Like, I can't do this to Grandma anymore."
Yeah.
So then I was like, "You know what's good though? Dabs." So then I would just have a full dab rig with a blowtorch, like right in the room next to my grandma, just blowing it out. Dude, whenever you try to blow smoke out a screened-in window, bro, it doesn't work, dude. All the smoke just. Like, you don't get anything. You gotta put your lips up to the screen and blow through. If you blow into a screen, it minimal smoke gets through that screen. I swear to God.
Poor Grammy, dude. She was too nice to say anything.
Oh, dude, it's brutal, dude. Absolutely brutal. I gave her a brownie one time. She said her arthritis was hurting. I gave her a brownie. It didn't turn out great. She said the room was spinning.
Oh, no.
She was scared for her life. But
you gave her
we were dickheads,
dude.
thinking back. Yes, but now we're back and we're here.
Gang,
and yeah, what can you do? You know, I blow my weed smoke out of the window now.
That's fair. I like how you were like, "Ah, man, the weed. It's too bad for Grammy right now. It's like I can't smoke weed in here, so I'm just gonna smoke concentrated weed now.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch over to weed.
Yeah,
I'm gonna switch over to the crack weed, his mom calls it.
yeah,
You smoking that crack weed now?
crack
Just
weed.
tears in her eyes, dude. I'm telling you straight, tears in her eyes.
Yeah,
That crack weed. Mom, it's not. How do you explain it? I swear it's not crack weed.
I swear, Mom.
You just need a blowtorch and something that it looks like you would smoke meth out of.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
swear, Mom, this is for weed.
yeah.
Has never
You're
smoked weed
lighting
or
it
had a
up.
drink in her life. Yeah. She's like, what?
Yeah,
It's just you can't even have that conversation.
yeah. No, there's no
Mom, I
believing it
swear.
too.
Yeah, I was never a whippet guy, but I can imagine that'd be a weird conversation too if your mom finds like a cracker in your or like just empty whipped cream
Yeah,
bottles in your
yeah,
bedroom.
yeah.
You're like,
Like he doesn't even
I
have a
swear,
keyboard in
Mom,
here.
I'm getting high. I swear.
Yeah, why is there
Never a
always
whippet
a keyboard
guy.
cleaner? Never.
Now the
Like,
whippets are coming back.
yeah,
I've
of
done them a
course,
couple
yeah.
times, of course. Like I'll hit the balloon every once in a while. Not even every once in a while. I think I've only ever done it once or twice because it's supposed to be really bad for your brain. Like I think whippets does to your brain what they thought we did like back in the '60s. Like, when
Oh
they
yeah,
thought it, like, just, like, Swiss cheesed your brain, it was like the
yeah, yeah,
scrambled
yeah,
egg. You know what I mean? This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs, and it's a
yeah,
scrambled egg.
yeah,
I think that Whippets actually does that, I'm pretty sure that's, like, really bad.
yeah. What's
So,
the
yeah.
high like on it? Because I've never even gone close to doing whippets.
It's just, like, you, like, black out for, like, 10 seconds. It's, like, not long at all, like, you don't remember what
Yeah.
happens, and then, like, the whole room, like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa,
Whoa,
whoa,"
whoa, whoa,
and then
whoa,
you,
whoa,
like
wow.
don't see anything. Like, you, like, get so lightheaded that, like, you're, like, not in existence anymore,
Really?
and then you come back, like, 10 seconds later, like, "Ooh," you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Feel
yeah,
like a
yeah,
little and then that's it. It's done, like, it's done in,
huh.
like, a minute. So, it's like that's why people who do whip, it's like it's a problem because they
Yeah,
just have to
yeah,
keep fucking hitting the crackers,
yeah. You
which
get
is
a big
wild
old
drug.
thing of like galaxy gas, grape flavor that you just go in breathing in every time.
Yeah, now it's, like, flavored, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
which is crazy because Whippets used to be a whites only drug. Back in the days, you had to, like, listen to Fish and the Grateful Dead.
yeah,
But
yeah,
now,
yeah.
dude, I see what they're doing. They think they're slick, dude. They're trying to get the Snapes on board, bro. Like, you think you're fucking grape flavor and Whippets, and I don't see what you're doing. I see
Yeah,
what you're doing.
exactly. Yeah,
You're trying to diversify the portfolio over there, alright?
yeah,
You're like, it's not just for Fish fans anymore. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean? They got, like,
yeah.
fucking Cardi B, like, with a cracker, like, on the advertisement. I'm like, "Alright, guys, it's a little on the nose."
Yeah, yeah. We can
But, yeah,
chill
it's
out with
coming
this.
back around now.
Yeah, I don't. I guess because of like concerts and festivals that people have just been selling balloons outside of them the entire time. But like, I mean, I don't. I get weed. I don't know if I necessarily get like whippets, like of like unless
I don't
everyone
get
else
it.
is doing it, you know?
Yeah, I don't get it at all. I mean, I don't understand why peer pressure would Ben's like, "If everyone's doing it, I
But
guess I'll have a fucking little
I, I guess if I
whippet."
had to, I would try it 3
Dude, there's no
times.
way that's in the Mormon Bible, bro. There's no way he mentions
No
whippets
way.
once, dude.
Is
Dude, that's on the board,
it?
bro. That's on the board for you
That's
over there.
yeah. That's board
Ben just
approved,
comes up
dude.
with a dolly with a big tank on it, and then tomorrow to Mikhail's like, "What's that for?" He's like, "Dude, it's not in there. I checked. I read it, dude.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
open
yeah,
season, dude."
yeah. That's a can of Raid for me, keyboard cleaner for you, and then we're gonna fill the
Yeah.
garage up with propane and gas tanks. And that's
Yes.
dessert for us. Yeah,
Yeah, one of my boys recently, in the same conversation, he was talking about how he wants to have a baby. And
yeah.
then, like, 10 minutes later, he's like, "Dude, I think I wanna get into doing whippets." 'Cause he
That's
'cause
always it.
he has to pass a drug test for, like, a government job. He's like, "Dude, I'm
Yeah,
thinking about starting doing whippets."
dude, whip it.
I'm like, "Dude, you just said you wanted to have a baby, like, 10 minutes ago, bro. What are
Yeah,
we talking about?"
yeah.
Like, I was doing, like, he's singing lullabies to the baby, but he's like, "Bro, come on, baby." He's all, like,
Yeah.
fucking whipping that. Yeah, so you one or the other, dude. You can't have a baby and start doing whippets. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, you can't hold a baby and be on whippets at the same time. You're gonna drop something.
Yeah, they really emphasize that in health class, though, that whippets was gonna be a bigger problem. Like, I didn't even know you could get high off a computer duster until health class. They show
Yeah.
some video of some kid who died. I'm like, "What? I can get
Yeah.
high off of that shit?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah,
Wait a
dude, you
second.
huff it." I'm like, "Oh." I'm like, "What?" Yeah, I had no clue.
You're
Yeah,
telling me
I
there's a
never.
prize at the end of the whipped cream can that I knew
They're like, you
nothing
know that
about?
stuff we have over there in the computer lab? Yeah, you can get high off of that. I'm like,
Don't even
why are you
think
saying
about
this
it.
to us? Yeah, why are you
Yeah,
telling us this?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, there was so much I had no idea about, like going into like health class, and I was like, "Well, no way, I can smoke that and I can huff in that, dude. That's
Dude, I
insane.
remember
I can make
elementary
a bong
school.
out of an apple."
Dude, yeah, a bong. I mean, that's actually I haven't done that in a while. That's a great
Yeah,
time.
and they were like, "Don't
But
whatever you do, if someone offers you a Gatorade bong, don't accept it." And I was like, "Oh shit, I can make a bong out of a Gatorade bottle. That's
yeah,
such a
yeah,
good
exactly.
idea. Thank you."
That's like the one episode of Cops where the guy finds like all the materials of someone making meth like in a water bottle.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
they're like, "What did you find?" And he's like, "Well, I got a water bottle here, and then here's the Sudafed, and then here's a 9 volt, and then he's like,
yeah.
now here's some other stuff." And he's like, "If you mix it all together in this water bottle,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
that's how they turn it into meth." I'm like, "What?
Wait.
Dude, you doing a class right now, bro?
Yeah.
Like, what? What are we
Yeah,
doing here?"
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, bro, we should not be broadcasting this to the
I should have
masses, dude."
recorded that episode. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
watching Cops reruns all the time.
Also, one time, because your gym teacher like would teach health class. I don't know if that's state or nationwide or what's going on with that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
elementary school, my gym teacher in her office had like a picture frame like this, and it was full of pills, and it had the little label underneath of every pill and like what it was. And I remember asking her, and she was like, "Oh, that was an old
What?
lesson that we used to teach." And this is elementary school, dude. And
Yeah.
the one it was like Xanax, Percocet, like Suboxone, like fucking, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
K
yeah,
pins,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
whatever. And then I think back, I'm like, why the fuck would they be teaching elementary schoolers about that? Yo, like this
Yeah,
is
exactly.
crazy.
I
And where
I
did she
know the
get that
reasoning.
fucking
The reasoning's
like?
definitely like if you see your parents like in the medicine cabinet because you're like 10, don't take that. But all it's teaching me is that, oh, if I take
Yeah,
one of these in my parents' medicine cabinet, this is the fun one.
yeah. This is why mommy gets sleepy after 9 o'clock after
Yeah, yeah,
dinner.
yeah, yeah, yeah. What glass of wine and a Xanax and I was really tired after that. It's
Also,
insane.
though, where can I get that picture frame, dude? If somebody's selling that picture frame, dude, send it my way. I
Yeah.
might want to take a couple licks off the top of a couple of those pills, see if they're real
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet we could find that photo. That'd be great to hang up.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, that's crazy. But
Dude,
yeah,
I
I
remember
do
for
remember my health class teacher saying uh he was explaining to us cocaine because like he was teaching us about all the drugs,
yeah.
and he was getting like super in detail. He's like, it's one of those drugs where it's like a lot of fun while you're on it, but the high only lasts for a little bit, like
Yeah.
an hour or two, and then you got to go back and you got to do a little bit more, and then the next day you're super depressed. And I remember being like, I remember asking him like, "Why? How do you know this much
Yeah,
about?"
yeah, yeah.
And he's like, "Chill, chill, chill." He was like, "Shut the
Yeah,
fuck
shut,
up."
shut, shut up, shut up. Yeah,
He
next
was
thing
like,
you know,
"Yeah, if you do this one, you'll lose your wife, and your son won't
your
talk to you
son.
anymore." I'm like, "What, dude?"
Yeah, and you're sucking dick behind the Laugh Factory in Philadelphia just so you can go.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I
rough,
was like, "What,
okay?
dude? How's this guy know so much about cocaine?"
Gonna have to change your name and get a teaching job at a public school with a bunch of kids with no hope. So don't get
Yeah, yeah,
hope.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna fucking if you do this one, you're gonna hit your guy up every Friday night, and then you're gonna sit at home alone in your boxers, and you're gonna watch Sports Center on loop
Yeah,
while you
yeah.
do cocaine, and
Yeah.
then you're gonna wrestle a 357 Magnum barrel out of your mouth before you go to bed. I'm like,
Yeah,
what,
yeah.
dude?
Yeah.
This is super specific.
Yeah.
He's like, you're gonna go down to the massage. That one right at the cross of Fifth Street and Main Street. You're gonna go right down to that massage parlor. You're gonna ask for Jen Wang. And
Yeah.
Jen Wang, she's gonna wash you, and then she's gonna jerk you. I'm like, what, dude?
Yeah.
This is
And
crazy.
you're gonna fall in love and you're gonna ask if she wants to go home with you because you can take her away from all this place. And she's not gonna
Yeah,
come home, kids. And then you're gonna sit on your sofa, you're gonna watch 1,000 Ways to Die, and you're just gonna think how lucky those people are.
yeah. But yeah, I remember he knew a lot. But then he asked the class like if anybody had ever smoked weed, and they
Yeah.
all snitched on me, dude. The entire class was like, "That kid smokes weed." Like everybody was pointing at me. I was like, "Yo," yo, chill,
Yeah, what is
chill with
it?
that, dude.
Yeah.
Chill with that.
Yeah. Even the smart girl, so you know she's not lying. She's like, oh, I think he smoked. And like, I'll kill you. Like, I
Yeah,
hope you
yeah.
don't get into Yale.
I had that happen one time in class. first period, because I would always smoke hella weed before school. Not bragging, dude. Kids, don't do it.
No
Don't be
big
smoking
deal.
weed.
Yeah.
But I was just, dude, I would get so baked before school. I would be like head down for the first 2 periods. Like I was that kid in class. Like my
Yeah,
head's not coming off the desk for the first 2 periods. And first period, this chick was like she was like tapping me or something. I wasn't answering her. And then like I looked up and my eyes are probably bloodshot or whatever. And that's super loud. She was like, "Are you high right now?"
oh
And
my
then like
gosh.
the teacher was like doing his lesson, and then like she said it so loud, like he stopped and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
looked,
He
and
stopped
like the
writing on the
whole
whiteboard.
class, yeah, the whole class looked. And the only way, like a good defense is the best offense. So I just had to, like, I had to snap. I had to flip out, dude. Like I
Yeah.
had to stand up and be like, "Why would you accuse me of that? I would
Yeah.
never do that." Like, I had to go into offense immediately. There was no, that was the
I
only
hate
way.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, "This is bullcrap.
Yeah.
You're profiling me for my long hair." I had long hair back in the time
Yeah,
I
yeah.
went on this whole. Yeah, but yeah, she totally ratted me out.
My eyes are red. I'm crying. My parents are going through a divorce. Thanks for bringing it up, Tina.
Yeah, yeah, this was pre-divorce, but I probably would have just thrown that in there.
Yeah,
I'd have
yeah.
been
I
like,
was
"My
about to
mom's a
say,
whore, I swear," and just
you can come
crying,
up with
tears in my
anything.
eyes.
I had to
Yeah,
pick my mom up from her pimp last night, and you're out here saying I'm high. I'll never do a drug in my
yeah,
life. It's torn my
this is
family
an
apart.
outrage.
Yeah.
My grandpa died in Vietnam for this shit.
This
God
shit.
damn it.
They found so much opium on him, okay? You think I'd
Yeah,
ever do that?
yeah.
Dude, health class, did you ever do like the sex ed stuff for them?
Oh yeah, we had sex ed. I've seen the hairy pussy.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Chewbacca.
Seen the
Yeah,
hairy pussy. And I
dude,
probably told you about the kid when they learned about penises and vaginas in
I
sixth,
think
seventh
so.
grade. Kid next to
It was
me,
7th grade we started learning about it.
kid next to me in class. So honestly, right after we learned about women have vaginas, like he looks at me like this, like face of relief. He was like, "So girls don't have penises?"
Oh,
Like
yeah.
straight face, like
Yeah.
straight face,
You're like, "Oh, thank God."
like like oh my, like he was like, "Oh." Like the
Yeah.
relief on this kid, it just
Yeah,
washed
yeah,
over
he
him,
was
dude.
oh my god.
His whole life, he thought girls had penises, dude.
Yeah. There's this
I
one
mean, how do you
kid
make it that long in life?
you never think about it, man, or he's prepubescent. That's probably why, dude. His balls hadn't dropped yet. He was thinking about eating boogers in the back. He's not thinking about where babies come from or what happens once a month.
This is true. This is true.
But I so it was like 7th grade when it ended up happening. So there was this girl in my music class that like I was always flirting on, and she was like really flirty back to me. Anyway, it was like the whole school year, and then back and forth, and it was like classic 7th grade. If she's like, "I like you," and I was like, "I like you," and so in music class, she's like, "Should we be boyfriend and girlfriend?" I was like, "Hell yeah!" And then later that day, the it was the same day that we learned about penises and vaginas, and I remember sitting
Nice.
there in class being like, "Holy shit, this is what's happening with them." And I think it scared me so bad that later that day, when I met up with her at her locker, I broke up with her like right then and there. I was like, I don't think this is a good idea because whatever the hell's happening downstairs, I'm not ready for it. I can't look that thing in the eye, and I don't want to anytime soon. So I legit broke up with that girl because of health class.
That's outrageous. And you met in music class?
Yeah, yeah, we met in. Her name was Bridget.
Oh, her
And
name
it
was
was
Bridget. I was gonna say maybe you were scared. You thought she had a sideways vagina.
I could
You thought
yeah.
that,
I was,
you
but
know,
no, she wasn't.
I legit thought that Asian ladies had
That is,
sideways
yeah, I know
vaginas.
every kid
For
wants an
I
Asian
mean, I
girl.
swear until
Yeah.
until about eighth grade when I googled it finally.
And then you
I'll get
narrow
it.
it down. You're like, okay, so I don't think Japanese people do, but maybe it's
Yeah,
Koreans. I
yeah.
don't. I don't know
Maybe
a
it's a
lot about
different. Yeah.
Koreans, so it could be them. Yeah.
Let me Google Taiwanese
Yeah.
pornography. I'm like, oh no, it's not
Oh
what I
no,
want.
they have dicks. What? Just flip the
I
script on me
lied
right
to him. I
there, dude.
lied.
I thought I had it figured out. They do have penises. Yeah, and that's my health teacher right there in this video. It's insane. He said he went to China. He went to Thailand because he liked the culture.
Yeah, me and Josh painted for this guy. It was like, yeah, I do a lot of traveling. And we were like, oh, yeah, where do you go? And he was like, I've been to
Yeah.
Thailand 7 times. We
Yeah.
were like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Ooh.
buddy.
Yeah. Oh
Okay,
shit.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah,
look at
cool.
look at the time.
We're just not gonna talk the rest of the time. We're gonna be pretty quiet during
Yeah.
this paint job. We like to put our
Actually, I
headphones
have
on.
no more travel questions. Actually, after that one,
Yeah. I don't
yeah,
wanna. I don't
yeah.
wanna know
You
how the
seen the
food is,
Phillies
dude.
recently?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He breaks out into that whole speech from the White Lotus.
yeah. Which was wild because he was married and he had kids and stuff. It's like, oh
And
no,
so his wife definitely didn't know. She had no
no,
idea.
she had no clue.
Yeah.
She had no clue. Also, one time I painted for this lady. I might have told you this. I'm sorry if I'm repeating, but
No,
I
you're
painted
good.
for this lady, old lady. It was an old lady and her husband. I painted in their house, and she was like, "Look at this picture of my husband." And it was like a printout that she got. She was like, "They sent it to me on their trip to Las Vegas."
Uh,
And dude, they were in like winter jackets. It was the worst Photoshop I've ever seen, bro. Like you could
wait.
clearly tell that it was a Photoshop, and they were
Yeah.
standing at the Hoover Dam, like with both of them in full
Yeah, yeah.
winter jackets, yeah. And I was like, dude, she had put it on the fridge after that. I must have walked past that fridge 9 million times just to get a picture or just get a peek at that picture,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
so funny. I was like, I don't know what they're getting up to, but there's no chance that they went to the goddamn Hoover Dam. I'm telling you
he's,
that right now.
he's never seen the Hoover Dam before in his life.
She had no clue, bro. I was like, nice, yeah, look at that. They're at the Hoover Dam. They're at the Hoover Dam. Just getting sucked off with his dad at the bunny ranch, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Shit, dude. When they did sex ed for you in like, how was it like? Maybe it was junior high or something like that. Did you do the STD class that you had to take at Penridge?
Oh yeah, I did that. I did
Did
the
you?
STD class. You had to
Do you
learn about
remember
all
what?
of them.
Like, did you have to do a PowerPoint presentation of a certain
I don't
assigned
remember
STD?
which one I got, but the only reason I remember, um, like that we even learned about STDs at all is because one time I was in the computer lab and Judence was a guy I went to high school with. He was in
Yeah,
the computer lab with
I
me,
know Judens. Yeah,
and I guess he had
yeah.
printed a bunch of stuff before I went to go get whatever I had just printed. And it was just blue waffles, dude, just
Yeah,
gonorrhea
yeah.
pussies that he had just printed out. I was like, ah! I went to grab my paper and I just pulled. I was like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is going on? Which is crazy that they let you Google blue waffles on a school computer.
Yeah,
That's absolutely wild.
that's exactly where my story's going because I got I don't know if it's type B or type 2 herpes, whatever the label is for that. I think it's
Yeah.
type 2 herpes. But like they were like, all right, PowerPoint presentation. They were like, you have to have pictures,
Oh,
which sucks. And I
ah.
typed in type 2 herpes, like images, and the first one is the blue waffle. Like which I will say, because we're a little older, so if any of the kids, I don't know if this was a thing for the generation now, but for any of the kids, if you type in blue waffle and go to images on Google, this was back in the lawless days of like early 2000s where Google had like
Oh,
no
dude, Google and
restrictions, dude.
YouTube didn't give a fuck back in the day,
No,
dude.
dude. You could put murder videos on YouTube and they did not
Straight
care at
up.
all, dude.
Some of the shit on YouTube back in the day, I think back, was crazy.
Yeah, dude. So for this, like you used to prank your friends back at the computer lab and say, "Hey, Google Blue Waffle. It's the coolest, like it's the coolest meal you'll ever see. Like you should make this at home." And if they don't know any better, they'd be like, "Oh, sure." And they go, and it would be the nastiest looking vagina
Uh,
you've ever seen in your entire life. It was blue. I don't know what from what chemical reaction that's going on down there. I don't know enough about
oh,
vaginuses, but it was the worst looking vagina ever. So anyway, when I was like, oh, Google Images, and the first thing that came up when I typed in type 2 herpes was the blue waffle, I was like, perfect. My time to shine. And so that was the photo that we ended up putting at the end of the PowerPoint for like that trip.
oh.
I was like, and time to see it. And it was crazy because all the guys immediately like the girls were like, ooh, but all the guys in the room were like, and like
Oh, no,
the teacher's like, it's not that
no.
bad. I'm like, oh, you don't know. We've been seeing this photo since 10 years old, dude. Like this is
True, true.
this is repressed memories I brought up.
Yeah, dude, I remember like the miracle of life still to this day, like the hairiest pussy ever,
Oh
dude.
my gosh, dude.
Like, oh my god, it was crazy, dude. And
Oh,
our teacher was telling us like not to laugh. It's like, dude, that's impossible. You can't show me a
yeah,
video of a hairy pussy with a hairy ass baby coming
yeah,
out of it, and I'm in sixth grade, and you're gonna tell me not to laugh? Like, what are we doing
yeah.
here?
What's happening here, dude?
Like, that's the whole point.
Yeah,
That's sometimes those are the best laughs, though, is when you're like trying not to laugh.
yeah, yeah. Where
Like
like
one
someone's
time I
biting
went
their tongue.
Yeah, dude, that's the best laugh. Like, and I got a couple stories about that. I
Yeah,
forget what
I do.
grade it was. Like,
I do too. You go first. You go first.
I think it was 7th grade, maybe 8th grade. We watched the Gandhi movie where Gandhi gets shot at the end, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
in the full auditorium, like the entire grades in the auditorium, we're watching the Gandhi movie where he gets shot at the end, and he makes some face at the end. He's like, "Oh," like that, dude.
Yeah,
And me and my boys started dying, bro. I mean, we couldn't hold, like, it was hilarious, dude.
yeah,
Everyone
yeah,
else was like crying, dude. We
yeah,
were just fucking cracking up. And they actually paused the movie and then they turned the lights on. And then like it was me, Steve, my boy Lance. They turned the lights on and they're like, "Who's laughing?" And then Steve was like, "Lance was." He immediately snitches on Lance. He blames it on Lance.
which is so
Immediately.
smart that he did that, dude. That he
He
said,
said
"Lance."
Lance was laughing, dude. And then I just had to fucking like I had to hold in like my laughter, and Lance
Yeah,
had to give like a public apology to the entire class. He had to like write
yeah.
a letter out to the entire class to laugh when Gandhi died.
Yeah. Oh shit, dude.
Oh,
For me it was like the same buddy that I did the presentation with in health class, right? There was like it was field day for the high school, but it was like the special kids field day, right? And I want to preface the story by saying I'm not making fun of the athletes, right? But the scenario was hilarious for an entire room of high schoolers, right? Because they ended the field day for like the special education kids with a tug of war battle, right? And
let's
so
go. They're
yeah,
all just
and
biting on the rope.
darn it, I was trying to hold it together so bad. I was trying to be respectful. All right,
You got the one kid in the chair. He's
yeah.
putting it in reverse, dude. It's like toe hitched on to the fucking chair.
Exactly what it was.
That's
That's
hilarious,
exactly
dude.
what it was.
No, it wasn't. It was
There
kids
we
in
go.
chairs. Oh,
It was.
oh, dude.
All right, before
Come
we get into
on,
this,
bro.
light of my life, I have a niece with special needs. She's missing half a chromosome. She's the coolest kid on the planet. That
I have
being
an
said,
autistic brother-in-law, all
yeah, and you
right?
have an autistic brother-in-law. Okay, we're very much in
Yeah.
it, right? So this is all in good taste. But god damn, dude,
Everybody gets it, dude.
this
Everybody
tug of
gets
war
it.
battle. So the
I mean,
kid
how do you
is
not laugh at that?
yeah. The left side of the rope was it's always the one kid, he's nonverbal, he's 6'7", he's built like an ox. And so he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
he was the
Dude, do
anchor on
not take
one
that kid's
side.
Nintendo Switch, bro. You touch
No,
that
no.
kid's Nintendo Switch, there's gonna be some problems, bro.
Like the day he snaps and the teacher tries to separate it, the teacher's going through the tile ceiling
Yes,
right in the air.
yes.
So that was the anchor on the left side. The anchor on the right side was the kid with the 2-ton electric wheelchair, right? And
Let's
they
go.
and they hooked the rope up to his wheelchair. Or actually,
What?
I think
That's
they
just crazy.
yeah, I think they tied it to a certain point, maybe one of his handlebars. But this kid is also strapped into his own wheelchair. So the second that the nonverbal kid on the left picked up the rope, the whole game was over. He just started walking backwards. But kid in the wheelchair is in reverse, right? And so he's holding on to the rope because he's strapped into his wheelchair that's now completely flopped over. And this is after his tires were squealing, trying to like get it to like back up, and him and his wheelchair getting dragged across the gym. And
Let's
I
go.
was like
How
doing
do you
pretty
not
good.
laugh?
I was doing really good until my buddy to the left of me, Matt, just looked at me and he goes, "Bite your fucking lip right now." And then I lost it so hard, dude.
You got me,
I
dude.
started laughing. I was doing good until you told me to bite my lip and not laugh. Oh,
Yeah, you can't
I
address
felt
it.
so bad after that, dude. I laughed so it was like you laughed like so loud in it that like I felt bad. Like I still think about how like loud I laughed to that day to that problem. And anyway,
Oh,
I'm a
dude.
good person, I swear, dude.
Those are the
But
best laughs. Dude, everybody
yeah.
can get it. I
Yeah.
was saying I have a autistic brother-in-law, and other day he was helping me out with something. I was driving him home or whatever. Somehow we got on the topic of rubbing tugs. I don't know how. I have no clue how we got on the topic
It
of
comes
rubbing
up
tugs
once a week with us anyway.
because he had no clue. His mind was blown. And I was like, "Yeah, dude, there's like massage places where they'll like fucking jerk
Oh
you off."
no,
Like,
dude. Dude,
yeah, I was like,
you
he was
pulled the
like,
health
"What?"
teacher, yeah. You pulled
He
the
had
health
no
teacher
clue.
that's talking about the drugs. You're like, I didn't know that you could go and get high pills And then you're like, yeah, you
his
can
mind was
get
blown.
massages at parlors. He's gonna go every week now, dude.
I was like, it's just expensive. I was telling him, I was like, just save up like a couple weeks worth of money, dude. It's like, I was like, it's like $300. But his mind was blown. He was like, what? Like, how is that legal? I was like, it's not really legal.
It's not.
But they're everywhere. And he was like, they're everywhere. And then I pulled up rub maps in his town, and
Yeah.
there was one like right around the corner from where he lives. And then we drove past it on the way home, and I was like, that's the place. That's the place right there. They'll jerk you
Oh
off
my
in there.
gosh.
He was like, what, dude? His mind is absolutely blown. I was like, don't do it.
Don't
Don't do it. But
don't do it.
if you do it, I won't
Yeah.
judge you though. If you do it, I told him, I said, it's expensive. I said, it's like $300. And he was like, oh, that's that. Yeah, no, I can't be doing that. And I was like, yeah, that's probably a good
Yeah.
idea.
And then the second he left the car, it's like, maybe it's just mac and cheese for the next couple months. You know, I gotta save up some money.
Yeah.
He's like, I
His
can
sister's
stop
like,
doing
you haven't
takeout.
eaten in weeks. He's like, yeah.
Trying to look good. You're going on a diet. Yeah.
Dev is the man, though, dude. Dev's the man. He drinks and smokes. Because, I mean, I might be divulging too much, but my girlfriend's parents were like alcoholics growing up or whatever. And they had an autistic son. So this kid was not. Like
He wasn't
he's
taking care of.
feral. He's feral, dude. Like
Yeah,
this
yeah,
guy's like, you know what I mean? He's
yeah,
just on his own. He's just an autistic guy, just smoking heaters and drinking beers, dude.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
just
yeah.
absolutely getting after it. No guardrails for this guy, dude.
He was
No
figuring it out
guardrails.
himself.
Yeah, he's a man, dude. He's an absolute fucking man. He
Dude, shout
cracks
out,
me
dude.
up. I'm trying to think what he said the other day. Oh, whenever he called, because he calls me at work because he's not doing shit. So he calls me at work, and I'm always like on speaker phone talking to him, and then he's
Yeah.
like, I asked what Josh is up to, and I'm always like, oh, Josh is being a little bitch, like crying in the corner.
And
And I
then
said
you
that
call
to him a
Josh.
couple days ago. I said it to him a couple days ago, and he was like, Josh is like the coach from the Water Boy. He's like on the phone in high heels, and he's like crying
Oh
to his
yeah,
mommy.
yeah.
I was cracking up. I was like, damn,
Yeah,
damn, Josh,
dude.
Devin just destroyed you, bro. He just absolutely destroyed you, dude.
Oh, dude, a grade A reference, dude. That was beautiful, man.
Dude, great reference. Pull that out
Oh,
of thin air.
Devin, dude. Devin going, man, shots fired on that one, Devin. Proud of you, dude.
Yeah, Dev absolutely
Oh,
cracks me up. Dude, I have a great story. Did I ever tell you about the story about the time Mary and Dev got in a fight?
no. I need to meet this dude. I've met him. I've met him once, but it was like years ago. So like I really need to meet Devin again, dude.
Yeah, he's a man. But when me and Mary first started dating, she didn't know how to drink. She would just drink
What?
to like excess, like would just like be, you know what I mean, whacked. Like you couldn't
Yeah.
handle her liquor at all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I guess her and Dev were at the bar or something, and they were on their way home. They both lived together, or no, actually, Devin lived up in Dublin at this point. They're on their way home. Someone like cuts them off like really bad, and Mary's got a couple in her, if I'm being honest. But she doesn't do this anymore. But she
Yeah,
did
yeah.
this
She doesn't drive
5 years
anymore doing
ago.
this.
Yeah, but they get cut off, and then Mary pulls the car over for some reason because I guess they were like screaming at her like from their car, like in front of them, like they were leaning out the
Yeah.
window yelling at. So then Mary pulls the car over for some reason, which is like,
Ooh.
why would you pull the
What are you
car
doing?
over? Like,
You're
what are you
5'4".
doing,
What are you
dude?
gonna do?
Like, bro. And then, like, there was a girl, it was a couple in the car, a girl and a guy.
Yeah.
And they pull over to the side of the road and, like, get out. Mary's jawing with the chick. Like, the girl, like, spits in Mary's face, and then, like,
Ooh.
they, like, link up. They start going to town, like, and from what I heard, like, I guess this chick got the better of Mary. I guess she got the hair first, is from what I heard. Which is like, that's how you win in a ladies' fight. If you get the hair first, like,
It sucks that they do that in the first place. Cause like, I mean, I'm gonna be
yeah,
honest, it makes the fight pretty uninteresting. But
yeah,
because you
like
always go for the hair.
that's why ladies wear a hoodie. Put your hood up in the hoodie. So you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then if they go to grab the hair, they get the hood. So you at least have
Yeah.
one. But yeah, so they get
Or the
out.
girls in the hood that they've got the wig on. So like the first grab that takes the wig off and they're like, perfect. I've got like a clean right hook that I can just hit you with now that you're like not even blocking. So they give him with the old 1-2.
But dude, Devin has the special needs strength too. Like it's crazy.
Nice.
Like they say it's a myth. It's not. Like Devin loves WWE, and like
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
always wrestle with him when I see him. Like we'll do WWE moves on each other, right, or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And dude, I'm telling you, he'll pick me up. I'm 250. I'm not 250 anymore, but he was doing this when I'm 250. He'll pick me up and like military press me above his head. Like
Yeah.
it's nothing, bro.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's absolutely nothing. Like I don't know how that's a thing. The dude's never worked out a day in his life. I don't know why God, like, he takes some
Just
stats
gave it
out
to
of
him,
some,
dude. Yeah,
and then he
yeah,
puts them in the other. He puts it in the
yeah,
strength. It's like in Fallout when you're building your character. He
yeah,
takes it out of the here and he jacks the strength up. I don't know why.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
God plays some cruel tricks.
Yeah.
But so Mary and this chick are linked up fighting, and then I guess the dude squared up with Devin. You know what I mean?
Oh, darn
And
it,
no,
dude. This dude's not the
dude,
hero in this story, man.
no one knows what happened, dude. No one knows what happened. But the but like, I guess Devin handled this dude like pretty
No.
quick. Like, we have no clue because then Devin like went and pulled the girl off of Mary, and dude,
just one arm,
you
just like lifted her
like,
up
do you
for
know how bad you have to get manhandled? This dude went back to the car and whipped out a gun and pulled a gun on
Oh,
Mary and Devin, dude. And then like they were like, oh, then it's obviously over when someone pulls a gun out.
yeah.
But
You're
dude,
like, way to be a loser, dude. Thanks a lot
I
for
just
bringing
think
that
about
up.
the beating that Devin laid down on this guy, dude. Oh my god, dude, I could only imagine it because he doesn't know how to fight. Like, there's
Yeah,
no fight there. But dude, he
yeah,
must have just been like slamming him against the car or something like, like just like this guy's just like, ah!
yeah.
Dude, he could have picked him up and fucking chucked this guy. Like this, the
Dude,
strength that Devin has. Dude,
yeah.
the guy's lucky that Dev didn't whip out a tombstone, bro. He could have
Yeah,
swanton bombed this guy and murdered him, dude. Like he was in the yeah, just his head explodes. There's nothing he can do. He's fighting back as hard as he can. Gets flipped upside down.
And boom.
Like, he got lucky, dude. But yeah, I just think about that being all the time. And
Devin
how
beat
if
his
I
ass so bad that the dude's like, "That's it. I'm getting my gun."
like,
That's
dude, how you know how bad you got to get your ass beat to pull a gun on an
you pull a
autistic
gun,
dude?
yeah.
Like, that's crazy, bro. Like, you must have been
Dude, how
getting
can
fucked up,
yeah,
dude.
dude. He'd be
Uh,
like, "I'd rather die. I'd rather go to jail for the rest of my life than anyone." That's how bad that dude got his ass beat, dude.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
And then
man.
when Mary was telling me the story, like she was explaining everything to me, like I had to like act sympathetic to like Mary or whatever because I guess she lost her fight or whatever. But
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
back of
yeah.
my head, I was like thinking, God damn, dude, I wonder what fucking Devin
Yeah,
did to that guy. Dude.
yeah.
He must have been fucking his world up for him to go pull a gun, bro.
Pull a gun.
That is
Yeah.
craziness.
Yeah.
That is absolutely crazy.
I like to think like his legs aren't working. He's just dragging, just like with his arms,
Yeah,
dragging himself.
yeah, he crazy. Wolf of Wall Street himself back to the
Yeah,
car, bro.
yeah,
He's like
yeah,
still like rocked.
yeah,
He's like, there's
yeah.
no clue.
I'll shoot all four of you. I promise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude.
Yeah, they never caught the people either. Yeah, it's like the cops got called and everything, and then,
Yeah.
but yeah, they never found the people. And the
Dang.
cop was like a dickhead about it too. The cop was like, "Yeah, we're not gonna find them. Like they're from the city." Like, which he
Dude,
just
what?
assumed
What?
off of what we told them, off of the characteristics that we gave him, the police officer.
He's
He was
like,
like, they're from the city. Like, we're never gonna find them. Like, we're like, all
yeah.
right, well,
Oh,
we
well.
know what you. Yeah,
Nice try.
dude,
Fuck
it's
me,
just
I
like
guess. Yeah.
yeah, I love casual racism though when people aren't even trying to be racist. Like the other day we went to get our storage unit and she was talking about how like, oh yeah, it comes with renter's insurance or whatever, but like
Yeah.
that's not gonna happen. Like we've never had anything like that happen. I was like, oh yeah, that's not happening in Doylestown. And then she like slid in there. She was like, yeah, but you gotta worry
But
about when they come up from the city.
yeah.
That's what she said. You gotta worry about when they come up from the city.
Yeah.
And she was being totally like wasn't trying to be racist at
Yeah. No,
all,
no,
you
no,
know what I
no.
mean? And I was
No.
just like, I know what you're putting down.
Mm,
I'm picking up what you're
I
putting down, lady.
I don't know
You
if
know
I
what
would have
I
said it out loud, but like
mean?
I get what
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
saying.
I
Yeah.
was like, okay, yeah. I was like, all right, lady,
Uh,
chill out here, chill out here.
yeah.
Yeah,
Also, dude,
but
that whole like they can't like find them. They're gone. That is all such bullshit, dude. Because the did you hear about the Brian Hoberger dude that murdered a bunch of girls here in Idaho?
yeah, then drove
Right.
across country.
And they tracked his car all the way across the country with police, like with security cam footage, right?
Yeah,
It was like 5,000
like easy
security
pass
cam.
cameras and shit.
Yeah, and they tracked him all the way back to his own house. So you're telling me that if I get mugged and some guy pulls a gun on me and drives off, that you guys can't find it? Because apparently they can track a dude from Idaho to the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, in like 3 days, no problemo. They were at his
Yeah,
house.
yeah. What are we doing here? Like, you definitely could find us.
Exactly.
And they're like, that guy who shot at Trump, we got nothing. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
no
know.
idea. Yeah. What are you talking
We got
about?
nothing. Can we get any facts on this guy? They're like, nope.
No,
No, we got.
no
Hey,
idea.
yeah,
Yeah,
we got
yeah.
nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm not even a big Trump guy, but I just think it's funny that they're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
they went to his house and it was like professionally scrubbed. Like there was no silverware in the drawers. Like there was like
Yeah, yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
And then they're
He's a
like,
genius.
I don't know. I don't know what
No.
happened. Yeah.
Weird. Yeah. Also, you don't
Yeah.
see the video cam footage of like the cop helping him with the like hold the ladder as he gets on top of the roof.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what are you doing up here? You secure? Okay, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, sure.
They're like, it was a sloped roof. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Nice try, everyone. And we don't know what happened in Las Vegas, the Las Vegas shooting, right? Yeah,
Oh my God. Yeah.
it's
Don't
not
even
like
get me started
casino
on that.
floors have 500 cameras
Yeah.
on them to
Cameras
stop
of
you from.
guys.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Dudes carrying like 500 pounds worth of guns up to his room and they don't have
yeah,
a
yeah,
single video evidence of him doing that at all.
yeah.
Yeah, like, all
Yeah.
right. He would just be like walking like multiple trips to the car with like gun cases
Yeah,
on each side.
yeah,
Like, what are we
yeah,
doing here?
yeah. Come on,
What
guys.
if he
Let's
had like
chill,
a
dude.
comically big box like on a dolly when he came in? He was like, "Oh, I'm just bringing." Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. And the only guy to say something was his brother, and he got a lot of CP on his
yeah,
1999
yeah. On his
computer.
laptop that hadn't been touched in years. That I
Yeah,
think was in a
yeah,
storage unit, if I recall. I think it wasn't
yeah,
even
yeah. Oh,
in his
anyway,
possession.
what a
Yeah.
goofball.
Anyway, let's not talk about that. And then the
Yeah, yeah.
FBI just recently came out and said that Epstein did kill himself.
Oh yeah,
They
yeah.
said that.
Magically,
I'm like, all
yeah,
right,
the
guys.
cameras
You
did
know what I
work.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. They're like, we looked into all the evidence and yeah. You know,
Anyway, yeah, yeah.
shit
Nice guy,
happens.
dude. As Elon Musk literally tweeted out today that he's like Trump's on the Epstein files. And like we know, we're
Yeah,
well aware.
we're all
Was no
yeah,
big
no.
news, dude. What are you talking about?
Trump's
Um,
like we stopped being friends over a real estate dispute. And I'm like, all right, buddy. Like,
yeah,
buddy,
all right, we're chill.
that's why you guys had a house a mile away from each other in Florida, right? Like literally
Yeah,
like
yeah,
around the corner.
yeah,
Like
exactly. Yeah,
Trump's house was here, Epstein's house was here. I'm like, all
yeah, yeah.
right.
Yeah, nice try. Yeah, and I think a couple of girls weren't they all like masseuses at your Mar-a-Lago golf course before they go on
Yeah.
his island? That's so weird. I don't know.
Yeah. You know it's gotta be so hard for him not to hit the Bill was at the island more than me. Like, I would be
Yeah,
holding
yeah,
that in every time because he went
yeah.
to the island too, but every time I'd be like, "Oh, Bill was there more, I swear. Bill
Yeah.
went yeah. Bill was there more, get off my back."
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Hillary was there too, as well.
Yeah.
Guys aren't really her thing. No, yeah. Bill was there I don't know, like 20 times, right? Or something. Anyway,
Bill
let's
was
not
there
get
mad,
lost in the
dude, yeah.
details. Yeah.
27 times, let's not, who
27
knows the
times.
numbers, but it was
Yeah, who knows?
27
Him,
times.
Chris Tucker, and Stephen Hawking's all just
Yeah,
enjoying their
yeah.
time. The
Chris Tucker got
entire
it bad, dude. He got it
yeah.
bad, bro.
I
Because, like, he coulda gotten away with it clean, and then there's that one picture, dude.
yeah.
Oh, it's the most
Yeah.
damning picture
Yeah.
ever, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's him and Bill Clinton. It's Bill Clinton, Kevin Spacey, and Chris Tucker on Epstein's jet. And they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Oh,
yeah.
if there couldn't be a worse time, setting, or people to be caught with on a plane. Like, God damn it, I wish I was just alone in that picture. If you're just
Yeah.
alone in that picture, you know what I mean? You could have
Yeah.
been like, he gave me a
You're okay.
flight one time. Like,
What are we
but the
talking about?
fact that you're
Yeah.
standing next to those two, I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Dude, every time I think of like, man, what like he's due for a comeback, and then I think about that photo and I was like, never mind. Never mind. He's never
Yeah,
coming
nah,
back, that poor dude.
nah.
Which
He's a
Kevin
Christian
Spacey's
comic
trying
now.
to
He
come
doesn't
back.
curse anymore.
Oh, good for him. He found God.
Yeah.
That's
Why
a
I
really
wonder
good
why he
fail
made that
state.
turn. I wonder why he made
Oh,
that turn.
weird.
It's
Yeah. So
crazy.
that if
Yeah. Maybe
anyone
there were
tries
some
to accuse
skeletons in
him,
the closet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. It's just like Joe from Impractical Jokers. He's like, you know what, guys? I'm going to be taking a season off. No
yeah.
particular reason why.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
You're like, what?
Yeah, my
Yeah.
leave of absence. Yeah, me and my wife
He's like,
really
I'm
just
going to
want to
go
spend some
spend more
time.
time with my family. And then he announces a world tour where
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
going
yeah.
on comedy shows by himself. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that lady was like Matt Lauer, because like Matt Lauer, like his like
He got it,
ammunition
dude.
list was, and then you heard the details, like some of the most graphic stuff you'll ever hear in your entire life, and then the
Yeah.
next, like of his assistant having to go and like wake the girls up because they had passed out from how bad it was, right? And yeah, anyway, he's like, I'm just gonna spend some time with my family in our New York state, and then his wife was like, hell no, he is not coming in the New York state. He's in the Hamptons by himself in the shack. Nobody
Let's
talks to him.
go.
Yeah. But
Yeah, they did that with Jeffrey Tube, and I felt so bad for that dude. They totally disgraced that guy who was jerking it. Tubin, the guy who was jerking it on the conference call during the
Oh
pandemic,
yeah.
and
It's
he like paused his computer, and he's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
he
yeah,
didn't know that like the camera was still on. And he was like squirting lotion into his hand.
yeah.
He's like, ah.
Yeah.
He has no clue the camera's still on. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you how I feel about this bill if it passes. Yeah,
But then when they brought him back, they made him apologize on national
which
TV.
is
They were like,
that's so dumb that people are like,
Jeffrey, there's something you want to address here.
yeah,
Let's just get this out of the way to start.
yeah,
I'm like, dude, we all know. Why are we like, no, you know what I mean? They're like,
yeah, yeah,
I know you've
yeah,
been reliving this over in your head for the past 6 months and contemplating suicide, but if you could just go over it one more time on live television in front of the entire world, please,
yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. We need you to come
It's,
back on air and say it. I'm like, there's no
yeah.
way in hell I'm back and saying that, dude. But
Yeah,
that,
he like came back, but then they made him like they like shamed him before he came back.
yeah. What's the one baseball announcer where he was just like,
Oh yeah,
he's like,
yeah,
city
yeah,
of
yeah. I know what he
fags, right?
said.
And
Yeah.
then
Oh,
like
what did he say? Oh my god.
I forget what
I think
city
he
was.
said #1 fag
Cincinnati.
city in the world or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And then he's like on air apologizing, but he's also still doing the pitch count, right? He's like, really sorry for anything you
Yeah.
guys might have heard. He's like, ball four,
Pops up
dude.
to left side. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. There's no coming back from that. So like, why are you even apologizing, dude?
Yeah.
It's
I
time to
said
become the
something that was
villain. Double down.
absolutely. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if
Oh,
you can hear it.
you can't hear it.
He says the fag capitals of the world.
Yeah.
That rules, dude.
Yeah.
You get caught on tape saying that.
He
You know
shouldn't
that
have
one
said it,
chef.
dude. But I hate that he apologized. I'm like, I'm not coming back from this career, so
Nah, yeah.
I'm doubling down on this, dude.
Yeah. Get some shit off your mind, dude, while you're here,
Yeah.
dude. You know, like you're not
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
back.
Yeah, whatever. You can free ball it at this point. No
Hey,
one can
let it
stop you.
fly.
Yeah. It'll be the greatest,
Yeah.
like greatest broadcast ever known to man.
But yeah, I have a list of all the funniest cancellations, but one of the lists is remember who's the ginger chef? Mario
Oh,
Batale, is that him?
something like that.
The ginger chef. Oh,
Paglia?
I don't
No.
know. I forget what he did. I don't even remember what he did. I just remember the cancellation because um he like did like this apology YouTube video or whatever where he's like apologizing for his actions. But then he
Yeah.
like plugged his cookbook at the end. He was like, there's a great he like immediately the second he was done apologizing, he was like, there's a great cinnamon bun recipe on page 14 of my new
Yeah.
book that's good. Like when he didn't miss a beat. Like he just went right in.
Yeah.
I was like, all right,
Yeah.
like
I'm really sorry for anyone that might have been affected by this and any of the victims. I know that we'll probably have our day in court and the truth will come out. Also, if you look at that Alfredo recipe that we have on page 42
yeah,
for
like literally.
cooking from home recipes from mom, I think you guys would really like that. Anyway, guys, this is me signing off.
Yeah. I love when people get canceled for things that they obviously did too. Like if I showed you a picture of Dog the Bounty Hunter and I said, gun to your head. I put a gun to your head. Does this guy say it?
Yes,
Does this guy say it? Yes or no?
100%
Does he
says
say
it.
it?
Yes.
You're like, yes, I'm putting all my chips on yes, he says it, I swear he says it. Same thing with Paula Dean. Same thing with Paula Dean.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, they're like,
I love Nick Mullen on Paula Dean, where he's like, yeah, she's like, yeah, I said it once 20 years ago. And then Nick Mullen's like, pretty good. It's better than me. Yeah.
yeah, she's got me.
He's like, 20 years ago, that's a lot longer than I said it. That was like 5 years ago
Yeah.
to me.
20 years ago, dude. Oh, dude, that was on the board when I was in high school. I swear to God, I was
Oh,
selling drugs. I was
100%.
hanging
Yeah.
out with kids of all races, dude. I was dropping it in front of all races, dude.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no.
No
I
one
mean,
cares.
it was in my vernacular for sure, but I was saying it like not like in a aggressive way. I was saying it in like a very
Yeah.
like white, like ghetto way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because we're white
No one batted
suburban
an
kids
eye.
who want to
I
be
swear to
cool black
God.
kids. So that's why we said it, because
Yeah,
we want
100%,
to be
dude.
cool.
100%. I
Something
was selling
happened
weed with
like
these
cool.
guys, dude. We were like brothers. I'm not gonna say it, dude. What are we doing here?
Yeah, I mean,
I was never
I've
putting the
earned
owner on it.
I've earned it. We're breaking the law together. I'm gonna say once. You called
And
me
then I
multiple
realized
times.
it was bad. Okay, never said it's not.
Yeah, that's called
You seen
growth.
the guy with the Burger
Logic.
King hat? Didn't he say he was like 2% at or African or
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that?
he
Yeah, I
did.
mean, come on, dude. He
Come
gets a
on.
pass.
Well, the issue is it's the rule's 3%. Then you can say it. So yeah, he must have not gotten the message. Though. It was an honest mistake. You can tell he looks
Anybody,
in his
yeah.
face. You can tell he
Anybody can
regrets it
make
as
that
soon as he
mistake.
says it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was a lot of
Yeah.
regret.
Yeah, he felt bad the second it came out of his mouth. You can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude,
Nothing's better than the guy who's selling solar though. And he's like, I'm in the neighborhood talking
yeah.
to neighbors, and you're like, yo, bro,
You're
how
wearing
often are you saying that's
yeah,
just slipping
yeah.
out like that, brother?
You're wearing
Jeez
Lululemon
Louise, dude.
joggers. Chill, homie, dude. You're in a
Yeah,
polo.
relax, buddy.
You pulled up
That
on a
just rolled
Segway.
off the tongue.
Oh man. What's funny is like Dog the Bounty Hunter too, because like if you watch episodes, he's like, because he'll arrest people, but he'll try to be cool. He'll be like, man, brother, I was in your shoes once. And he's like, you want a
Yeah,
cigarette? And then he like
yeah.
drives
You
him
want
to
a cigarette?
McDonald's too. So he probably said it a ton because he thought he was being cool with them. He's like, yeah,
True. He probably did slide
that's
it
no
in there.
problem, man. He's
Yeah,
like, it's
yeah,
okay. It happens
100%.
all the time, homeboy. Yeah, I
Yeah, I bet they
guarantee.
had to cut that out a couple
Yeah,
times on the show.
the editing booth. They're like, okay, like, yeah, we can't have that, dude. Dog,
True.
you
I
say it a
wonder
little.
if he was saying it earnestly. That's a good
I,
question.
I, I guarantee it was 100% earnest because
Yeah, that's probably a good point.
as soon as he catches them, he tries to be really cool, be like, I was in and out of jail my entire. And he's like, we can pull out the scrapbook that we hide in my wife's titties. There's a lot of stuff that you can fit in her cleavage. Because Beth
Yeah,
couldn't
she's the
even.
best.
The best was Beth couldn't even drive the car without resting his
Yeah,
arms on her boobs because they were so
her
big.
tits are like in her face. Yeah, Beth
Yeah.
was the best, dude. Beth was the best.
Shout out
She
to
had the
Beth,
sweetest rack.
dude. Didn't she? Did she pass away from
R.I.P. dude.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Those
Dude?
big
I think it
cans
was
up in
Brett.
heaven.
I think.
I hope they're looking down on me right now,
Yeah,
dude.
right there, dude. Casting a big shadow on us, man. I appreciate you, Beth.
Dude, yeah. I could
Oh
probably see
man.
her nipples from down here because they probably sag down like this.
Right,
You know
all
what I
the
mean?
way. Yeah.
I could probably look up. Sometimes
Yeah.
when I'm looking at the stars at night
Yeah.
and I look at the constellations and I go, I think that's Beth titties.
I think
I
that's
think
Beth
that's
right
Beth's
there.
titties up there looking down on me,
Yeah.
dude.
I'm looking at the boob light on my ceiling right now, and I'm like, I miss her, I miss
Yeah,
the
100%.
wise things she used to say to me on TLC, watching guys get arrested.
Beth, I'm gonna get up there and I'm gonna motorboat them puppies, dude. If that's allowed in heaven.
If
I
that
don't
is,
know. Yeah.
I think
I'll read
motorboats
the heaven
just for us,
handbook,
dude.
dude. If motorboats are above board up there,
I think it's
I'm
kosher.
coming right for you, Beth.
All
Coming
for it,
right for
man,
you.
dude. Listen,
Yeah.
Europe, they do kisses on the cheeks. I think in heaven they let you do little motorboats. Just some of your heroes.
I always think about what's allowed up there. I'm like, oh God.
I
Better be
think
fun up there,
I
dude.
think it's anal, dude. Well,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah, you know.
definitely anal.
Because I
But
remember when I was a
there's
kid, they were like, you don't even have to eat, dude.
I was like, that
Like
sucks.
you're just gonna be fully nourished. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
that's the opposite of what I
Hey,
want.
yeah, what are
I
you talking
want to
about?
be able to eat as much as I can and never gain
Yeah,
weight. What are we talking
yeah,
about?
yeah. I want a
I don't want
chocolate
to never
fountain
be
in
able to
my
eat.
house.
Yeah, I want a custom
What are you
machine
talk-
next to my bed. Like, what are we talking
Yeah.
about?
Did I always think like people that have like a super exact answer of like, yeah, heaven's gonna be like this. I'm like, you have no idea.
Yeah, I'm like,
But
what,
yeah,
bro?
what are you talking about? Did you see it?
Yeah. Remember that old Dimitri Martin sketch? When he had that sketch show on Comedy Central where they're like doing a meeting for people who like almost died, and then they're all like lying. They're all lying. They're all like, I saw the pearly gates, and
Right
like
there.
I went up there, and he was greeting me, and all my family members were there. And then they get there, Dimitri Martin, and like all he's picturing is remembering is like a creepy clown like playing guitar. And then they get to him, and he's like, I just saw this creepy clown, and they're all like, "Oh, me too. I was lying.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
lying. I swear I saw immediately."
I saw the leprechaun. Yeah.
Everybody say, "Yeah,
Yeah.
he's in."
Yeah. You see
I'm
the
gonna get
leprechaun say
that
yeah.
gold. I'm gonna rent myself a backhoe and get the gold because
Say the
I want
gold.
the gold. Give me the gold. That's the best. That's the best.
That's so funny, dude. Shit. Oh,
The
fuck,
police
dude.
drawing
Oh, it's just a head
of
with
the
a
leprechaun. Yeah.
that yeah, like they just gave him dots for eyes too.
That was the best.
Oh man.
I love those mess ups, dude. I love the news anchor mess ups. They're hilarious.
Yeah, where they just go off.
Yeah, there's been a couple slip ups on there too, where people drop it. I'm like, oh, dude, an
Wait,
accidental one,
you can't
dude.
say
Oh,
that.
no,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. My favorite is still Yeah, I think it was a hurricane or something moving in, and this girl's over by like she's over by the pier, and like you can see the waves coming up in the background, and then you just hear the cameraman just go, "Watch out!" And then this huge wave splashes, and then this fish from out of nowhere just bitch slaps her right in the face
That's
on
the
live
best.
television.
That's the
Yeah, she
best.
just got, oh my
Could do that
gosh.
twice. She's
Yeah,
like,
just backhand hits her.
dude, or whenever it's snowing outside, I always think about the one where the lady's like, they're interviewing her on the street, and she's like, "It's the perfect texture for running," and then she's like, just immediately eats shit. That's the best.
Like a back of the head like slam, and she gets up trying to like and starts running again. Camera,
Yeah.
you can tell she's hurt.
And then there's the classics where the weatherman accidentally draws a huge dick on the screen.
Yeah,
He's like, it's moving in from over here, and then like they have the like arrows,
yeah.
and it just accidentally draws a huge cock on the screen.
There's
That's the best.
there's YouTube compilations of like John Madden accidentally drawing dicks on the screen as he's like as he's reading out the plays. He's like, and they're gonna go up here, right? And you see that it's gonna be his own screen and pass, and you're gonna keep an eye on this defensive man and this defensive man, and it's just an enormous
Yeah,
cock.
just a huge penis.
He's like, and he's gonna run this route, and you're like, that's a vein, but okay. It's good.
That rules.
Yeah. Oh man, I like to think John Madden did it on purpose. Oh,
Yeah, and he was
Sorry, what were you
no. What are you gonna say?
Oh, I had a little idea that we could do real quick on the podcast, and one of the things on it does involve football. But what were you gonna say?
Let's go. Oh no, I got nothing. Did I tell you about the story about the funeral we went to at the VFW where they didn't turn the music off?
No, what?
Did I tell you this? We went to a
No.
funeral because this ties back into what we were talking about earlier. I've just been thinking about this. Come back to this in my head, my bad. But where you like don't want to laugh, but it's so funny.
Yeah, yeah,
So like Mary's like grandma's husband or whatever died, and then they had this funeral at like a VFW that someone was a member at or whatever. So it was like half event space, half funeral or half bar over here, and there was just a little half wall in the middle. There was no wall. So
yeah.
like the bar was here and the funeral was here, and there was people at the bar, dude.
Oh no.
And like I guess they never turned the touch tunes off
Oh
because
no.
like the pastor is like giving a sermon, dude. And like there's people drinking at the bar, like right over
Yeah,
there, like
yeah, yeah,
watching baseball and shit.
yeah.
The pastor's giving his sermon, and then it's like he's dude doing Bible verses and shit. All you hear is like, you shook me up. It comes back, dude. I look at Mary, I'm like, bro, like, how am I not gonna laugh at this? I put my hands in my head there, like, why is this guy crying so hard? He's never met the guy. But dude, I was one of the hardest I've ever laughed. Like it was so funny. I looked at Mary and she started laughing too. Like it completely changed the entire vibe of the
I'm not
funeral.
a saint. What am I trying to do here, dude?
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember that play that Josh was in?
Yes.
What were we doing that we couldn't stop laughing in the middle of that play? I think we were
I
like
have no clue.
we were quoting like Waterboy or something like that, dude. And it's
I
like
have no clue.
it's like the quiet part of the play, and we're both like we're both shaking back and forth. And I remember Dad being like,
That's the best.
"Could you guys shut the hell up?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, dude, I can't." But
That's the
though,
worst. Oh, I love it though.
yeah, good shit. Also because we were talking about like fights earlier, brought me back. Do you have any like fight stories? Like, did you ever get any fights, dude, growing up?
Dude, I got some fight stories. I got fight stories for days.
I'm about to say because like
Well,
mine are
it's not
more
funny when you win a fight, which I've noticed. It's not a fun
like
story. I
when you
told the
lose a
story about when
fight.
I fought that guy, my gun flew out.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Did I tell that? Yeah.
You're like,
And
my
then
bad.
everyone scattered, and then I ran away immediately.
Yeah.
Allegedly, that didn't happen. That was alleged.
Yeah.
That was alleged. But yeah. I mean, the first fight I ever got in, I lost terribly. The dude was like fucking like a 6'4" black guy, and he just had boxing experience. I had no clue. I couldn't close the distance, dude. He was fucking doing the Ali like switch step. Ta, 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 ta.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't get anywhere near him,
What's
dude.
happening
He
right
was
now?
just
Yeah.
fucking piecing me up, dude. And then I got it to the ground at one point, but then they split it up, and then I don't know. The Snapes don't like it when it goes to the ground. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm
They think
telling
it's unfair.
they stand that back up immediately. So
Yeah.
if you get in a fight with a member of that
With the Snapes?
persuasion,
Yeah.
yeah, if you get in a fight with one of the Snapes You go to the ground. The boys are not going to let you take it down there, dude. I'm telling you
No.
right now. You're not getting in one position, all right? They're
Yeah.
going to stand that fight right back up. They stood us up, dude. And I just couldn't get anywhere near him, dude. He was fucking
Yeah.
peppering me with a jab, bro. Just circling. Wasn't throwing haymakers, nothing, dude. Peppering me with a jab the entire time. And I just couldn't, bro. It was crazy. I was
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah. Yeah.
helpless. I was absolutely helpless. But the first time I fought that dude with the gun, um,
Allegedly, you allegedly fought that dude.
allegedly, yeah, no, that never happened. That's
Yeah,
satire. That's comedy.
that's
But
comedy.
the first time I fought him, I was 16 years old, and it was like a group fight, dude. I've told this story so many times, but it was like a group fight. Um, over $20. Like this kid stole, um, he stole weed from me, or no, he stole $20 out of my wallet, right out of my
Yeah.
wallet.
The old classic.
Like we used to hang out every day down the street from each other. We used to hang out
Yeah.
every day, like we were boys. And then one day I went home and I knew I had $20 in my wallet and it wasn't there. And then I was like, it had to be him. Like he was on, I had it beforehand and now I don't have it. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
obviously this guy.
Was this our
And then it
neighbor?
was
Our
this guy.
neighbor friend?
Yes, this is our
Okay.
neighbor.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
But then I played it soft because if you come in aggressive when someone steals your money, you're never getting it back. So you got to come in soft and go like, like no worries, just like let me get it
Yeah.
back. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then I fucking snagged that shit and I left. I rode away on a bicycle like a bitch because I didn't have a car at the time. So I was like, I was picking up
Just
speed. Yeah,
pedaling on the bikes we got when we were 10 years old.
yeah, snagged that 20 back. And then it turned into a whole fight for some reason. I have no clue why. It turned into a high speed chase where we got like fucking, dude, we were getting chased by two cars. We were getting pit maneuvered, bro. Like the one car came up in front of us and was slowing down and we would like go around them. Dude, and then like at one
Is
point
this
the car
on
came up and
Butler
dude,
Avenue,
this
like
was
by our
on
house?
no, this was on
Where you
what's
got
the
like Second
road?
Street?
So you know the Callow Hill, that hill that goes
Yeah.
down real low, and then there's the bridge.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like the
Yeah.
hill that like it's
Because the
straight
bridge,
down, and it goes,
because the bridge is
and then
still
there's a
out.
cross street right here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. You're
It
in
was on that
gun
cross street.
territory. Really?
It was on that cross street,
That's a
and
sketchy ass
like
road to be doing that too.
we were outnumbered, so there was nowhere to go around because that road's sketchy. But then at one point, the car in front of us like comes out and like jackknifes, right?
Yeah.
So then we can't get around them, and
Over
then like they
twenty
all come out of
dollars.
their over $20, and then
Yeah.
and it wasn't even like I stole $20. This was $20 that was stolen from me. That I
Yeah.
stole. I reverse stole. I reverse Uno carded this guy,
From a kid that
and
had
then
a lot more money than us growing up.
way more money than me. I
I've
was
been to
so
their
poor.
house. They have a really nice
It's a
house.
fat house,
Yeah.
and you're gonna try and fight me over $20 that you stole from
Yeah.
me. That math doesn't make any sense. But then they get out of the cars. They're beating on the windows or whatever, and then eventually, like we're able to skirt around them. We get off. They're still chasing us. So then we call up one of my boys in his car, and we're like, "Yo, like." We're pulling up to the neighborhood. Like you got to come out and like be ready, dude.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
this motherfucker's crazy, dude. The
Yeah.
brother that we called up, dude. We called up the Telford SEAL Team 6, bro. We were like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yo.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were like, yo,
You got the
this guy's got
craziest
nothing
guy
to
on.
lose. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
The
This guy
craziest guy
will
on
not
your phone.
hesitate. He's
Oh
a ride or
man.
die. I love this guy, but he will not hesitate. Like, we fucking let the pit bull off the leash, dude. We show up to the parking lot. He's in the parking lot. He's got a fucking hammer, dude. Like he's ready to fucking smack
Yeah.
someone over
Yeah.
the head
Yeah.
with a hammer,
You're like,
bro. He
yeah.
went, yeah, yeah. And then some lady's like, "We're calling the cops." So then we all scatter and
Was
we
this in the
set and
neighborhood
arrange.
across from the neighborhood across from like the high school?
No, this was in Telford. Now we drove all the way to
Okay,
Telford,
gotcha.
being chased.
Just because I know that road will go to that parking lot by the basketball.
Yeah, no, they chased
Yeah.
us
Okay.
into Telford. He comes out. The nuclear launch codes, thank God, dude. We fired
Yeah.
all the missiles, dude. We
Yeah.
said, send out the big guns, dude.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
comes out with the hammer, dude. And then, like, no one kind of wants it because he has a hammer. Lady threatens to call the cops. We all split up. Then we, like, arrange to meet up at a different place,
Yeah.
right? So and then I had, like, a week advance. I must have called everybody I ever met. Like, we called, like, 40 dudes, bro.
Yeah.
And they just came with the people who were involved in those two cars, right? Like we outnumbered them like 4-1 probably.
Yeah.
And we ended up breaking off into individual fights. Like one guy was fighting one guy, and then after we had like a 4 fight card bout in a parking lot, bro. It was the craziest setup. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
literally, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 fights after another, like in the parking lot. And in reality, I think back to that situation. We should have jumped them, bro. We had
Yeah,
all the numbers. It
they
was
were doing
4-1. We should
one-on-one.
have pulled out of the car and then just jumped these guys. Like, we should have kicked the shit out of these guys. Like,
Yeah,
what are we
yeah,
doing here? There
yeah,
should have
yeah,
been no chance for any one of us to take an L. It
yeah,
should have been all W's in the house for four guys on one guy.
yeah, yeah.
But right before the fight, I was 16 years old. Bad friends. I had real bad friends. And they were like, we were gonna wait until you were older, but we're breaking out the big guns. And it was the first time I ever did cocaine. They they whipped out a bag of
Those
cocaine, dude.
bad friends, dude.
I know.
Yeah, so you're coked
They
out of your
literally
mind.
gave me a speech like, we were gonna wait a couple years before we broke this out on you, but we feel like you need it for tonight.
You need a little pump up, dude, right here.
Yeah. And then he gave me like a gator tail or what? No, I don't think it was. Looking back, they probably didn't give me a gator tail, but I was fucking hyped up. And the kid was way smaller than me. And dude, I was beating him one fist into the other, left, and I'm telling you, like there was no like,
Yeah,
like,
there's
I've never been that
yeah,
dominant in a fight, dude. It was crazy. He was so much smaller than me. It was a totally unfair fight, which is crazy that this guy wanted to fight me again. That's the craziest part.
Yeah.
The first time I beat him so bad, I'm talking left and the right, left and the right, and then I got him against the car, and then everyone was yelling, "Slam him, slam him!" Dude, I picked this kid up, and I did
this
what
kid's
I
like
thought Devin did.
This kid's like 120, by the way.
Dude, I picked this kid up, right? And I dropped this. I tombstoned this kid. I actually tombstoned this kid on the, like I was saying, Devin probably did. I literally tombstoned this kid on his head on the fucking asphalt, bro. Like, out cold.
Yeah,
Out cold.
Brain damage.
And I immediately thought to myself, like, oh my God, I'm a murderer, dude.
Yeah.
But then he woke back up, and then cocaine must have kicked in. Because I fucking hit him again. I knocked him out the second time, yeah. This is terrible, bro. I was asking. Thank God, I didn't
Dude,
get.
this is jogging my memory. I feel like I heard he got a concussion, right?
I don't
like,
know.
He didn't
There's
like
no
leave
way
his
he
house
wasn't
for a
concussed.
while. There was some.
I don't think.
I remember talking to somebody because I think he was close.
I don't know what happened to him.
I think he was
I
close
dropped
to
that
my
kid on
buddy
his head.
Tom's younger brother. Anyway, yeah. So like, I remember him like not leaving the house for a while, or hearing that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's a good guy now. We made up since then. We made our peace.
Yeah.
You know, but
It's
I had to
ringing
drop him on his
bell.
head.
I get you.
You should blame my boys for that, honestly. If you listen to this, don't even blame me. That's why my boys, they gave a 16-year-old a Laniello for a fight. Like, it's not,
yeah, what are you?
That's
What
outrageous.
are you talking about? Yeah. You're gonna need this.
Yeah, I take
you don't
no
feel any
responsibility
pain,
in that.
dude. Also, way out of his weight class, dude. there's
I mean, a
there's
good
nothing
3 weight
stacked
classes
against you.
underneath me. Like, it was just, yeah.
And at some
was
point,
that.
allegedly, a gun fell out of your pants.
That was the second time.
Oh. Gotcha.
That was the second time.
I didn't realize there was more than one.
It was the same guy. I fought him the second time in the parking lot behind my house. I seen him out there one day when I pulled up. Just so happened to be. He doesn't even live in the town. Just so happened to be out there.
But you said if I see you, it's on site.
Well, he slapped me his girl slapped my boy at a bar.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah, but I knew that he was friends with my neighbor, so I was like, we're not, because the cops broke us up. I was like, we're not pressing charges because I'm gonna fucking. I know I'm gonna see this dude again.
Yeah,
I'm gonna see him again. I know for a fact.
In the neighborhood.
So I'll take care of business then.
Dang, dude.
But honestly, losing my first fight ever, it made me like less hesitant about a fight. Like there's less jitters. Like I'm not quick to fight.
Is like you're like
but it really does make you know like yeah. Really, also it makes you like know that there's someone out there who could just absolutely kick your ass at any moment. Like you know what I mean? You're not like I think that's what makes you confident about it is that you go into it knowing I might take it out. This is not a guaranteed dub. If you go into a fight thinking that it's a guaranteed dub,
you're
and
done,
then you lose, you know what I mean? Like
But
you kind of have more confidence knowing like this might not go my way. Okay, I might get, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You're gonna give it 100% if you're losing, because that's there might be a point in the fight where you are, right? And that's where you got to decide: do I really want to fight? Because if you go in being like, "I'm gonna win this, no problem," and this guy sneaks an uppercut in your chin and rings your bell, you're like, if you don't already have that planned out in your head, right? You might be like, "Ooh, I don't want to be in this anymore."
Also, people don't know about weight classes either. Like, I think people like littler guys think that like
they could.
There's a big guy like they for some reason they can do anything about it. But it's like, dude, if this guy has 0 fighting experience and you've been training for the past 10 years and he has 150 pounds on you, like there's nothing you can do. He's gonna lay on you, bro.
Yeah.
He could literally pick you up and throw you across a bar.
Yeah, he's gonna
But there's
ragdoll
no
you the
fights,
entire time, dude.
dude. No fights in my town ever. Like it's the biggest pussy shit. Other day I was at the bar and this guy was drunk or whatever, and he was like bothering everybody. And he goes up to this other guy, and the guy fucking smacks the drink out of this kid's hand, and a fucking
Oh, dude.
glass flies across the room. I'm
Yeah.
standing right on the wall, and the glass like smashes right on the wall next to me. And dude, not a fist thrown. Not a fist
No way,
thrown,
dude. That would
bro.
have been.
They yelled
That
at
wouldn't
each
even
other
be
for
wait outside.
5
That would be
minutes.
right there at the bar.
Right there, you're swinging. Like, what?
Yeah.
If that glass would have hit me, I would have been swinging, bro. I would have been on site swinging with whoever slapped that glass.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Dude, I've seen this so many times. This town is so soft. Dude, they'll scream in each other's faces for like 5 minutes. It's all like, you hit first. And the other guy's like, you hit first.
And you,
And then
yeah.
like they do that for like 5 minutes, like an inch away from each other's face. And then they're like, all right, bro, like, all right, have a good one, man. You know, they
Yeah,
like
yeah,
shake hands afterwards and like go,
yeah.
I'm like, what are we doing here, bro?
It's because you both
But slapping
non-verbally
your
took each
drink
other
out of your
like
hand?
pussies. Yeah, what are you doing, dude? Ah,
Crazy. And no fight afterwards?
dude. All right,
Wow.
up
But
here in
nowadays, you can't
Idaho.
even fight in school. You go to like jail and shit.
Yeah, that sucks. Like, I don't know. That's how you get. That's how you get it out of your system a little bit, dude. Like when you're kids,
Yeah.
you gotta
And then
you
you hear
gotta get in a
about
fight at
like,
least once.
yeah, you hear like back in the day, like the gym teacher would like give both kids boxing gloves and like let them duke it out at recess. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah,
nowadays,
yeah,
like, you get in a fight and you gotta get like assault charges.
yeah, yeah. Exactly, dude. Like over here in like Idaho, because it's like, I mean, I live in a dry town, but that's because like the university made it a dry town, which also it's not a dry town anymore because the university's kind of being a douchebag to the town. So they stopped buying the town stopped letting them like buy all their liquor licenses. So now there's a bunch of like restaurants that are like selling liquor now. Anyway,
Oh.
I know, right? And whatever. So the that town, it's the town where the liquor store was that you came here like in December. That one. That's also the town
Yes.
that we got married in, Rigby. So
Okay.
there's a bar right next to the wedding venue that we got married at, and there was a shooting there, and because it's a cowboy town, like literally like the ranchers
Everybody's
around
probably
it
got a
they
gun.
going, yeah, like for real. And I didn't realize, but I had a buddy that was there, and he was friends with the kid that shot and killed the other dude and he was
Oh
just like.
my.
He's like they were arguing and they were arguing. And they went out to the parking lot and they started beating on each other, right? And then I think the girlfriend started getting involved too. And he's
Yeah,
like,
that's always, dude. They gotta
yeah,
stay out of
they
it,
gotta
dude.
stay out, dude.
The second they get involved, it's like, oh my
Because
god,
now
bro.
I have to worry about you, and I have to seem like a man, like in front of you,
Yeah.
and it's a cowboy town, dude. So this dude, like, he just went back to his truck and he grabbed his gun and he just shot at the dude as he was
Oh,
driving
dude.
away and killed him, dude.
That's brutal, dude.
Yeah,
Why do they always gotta go for upper mass, dude? Shoot
dude, I
somebody
know.
in the leg or something, you
Yeah,
know what I mean? Aim
you never hear
down.
about that.
Aim down, you know what I mean? If you gotta shoot somebody, you know,
Yeah,
just wound
yeah,
them, you know?
yeah,
Why
yeah,
are you going for
exactly.
headshots here?
A lot less jail time, dude. You're going to jail either way. Just clip him in the knee. That's gonna end the conversation really quickly.
Yeah, I have my license to carry and like if I'm drinking, I won't even bring it out because like you're never winning that court case.
Yeah,
Like
no, never.
if you shoot someone drunk, like good luck in court, buddy. They're gonna be like, "Oh,
Yeah,
your
yeah,
alcohol blood content was this," and then you shot
yeah,
someone. Like, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like you're
yeah, yeah,
beat.
yeah,
You're beat. There's no winning that. If the other guy's sober and you're drunk, like good, like you're. It doesn't matter what he did.
yeah. You're
You
screwed
know.
because you're looking for a
Also,
fight at
because
that point.
like when I go down to Philly or whatever, like I always think about if my car got jacked. Like, dude, I drive a shitty ass Honda Civic. Take the car, dude.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna fucking hop
yeah,
out of my
yeah.
car, fucking.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
You hop out of my Honda. You're not taking my Honda Civic. Go, 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 go.
Yeah.
Just fucking shooting teenagers.
My
Like I
2008
just want
Honda
to go.
Civic.
Yeah, don't hurt me, please. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
I'm not getting in a gunfight over a goddamn Honda Civic.
That's a good point,
What
actually.
are we doing here?
You have the perfect city car too. Like no one's gonna want to steal from
That's the good
the
thing
Honda
about having a
Civic.
piece of shit is that no one will steal it, dude. Especially if it's beat to shit. Like,
Yeah,
dude, I leave
yeah.
my car unlocked in town all the time. I'm like,
Who's gonna?
Mary's
Yeah,
like,
what's
I
gonna
don't know
happen?
why you leave your car unlocked. I'm like, dude, you see the car parked right next to it?
Yeah,
Which car do you
yeah,
think they're breaking into?
yeah.
Which car do you
Exactly.
think they're going
Yeah,
for? You
yeah,
think
yeah,
they're going for
yeah,
that piece of shit?
yeah,
Or you think you're going for the Mercedes right next to it, dude? Like, I'm
yeah,
good.
yeah.
There's nothing they can do.
Like the Bronco because the Bronco's so rusted out, right? So like I leave the windows down I'm not even gonna like lock it. Like, what's the point? You
Yeah.
know, no
Yeah,
one's
my
gonna
old
think I
neighbors
have
moved
money.
from Philly, like, up to the burbs where I'm at now, they moved from Philly, and, like, their minds were blown, dude. They had lived in Philly their
What?
entire lives. And, like, North Philly, like, in the bad part.
Yeah,
Not in
yeah.
Kenzo, but near Kenzo, I forget where it was, but,
Like a couple blocks away, maybe.
dude, he was like, "Dude, I leave my tools in my truck
And
all
no
night
one
long.
can. Yeah,
No one touches them."
yeah,
I'm like, "Dude, welcome
yeah,
to the
yeah,
rest of
yeah.
the world, bro."
There's some
Like,
perks, dude. Yeah.
yeah. Cracks me up
Dang.
whenever I hear people talk about how rough and gritty, New York used to be. They're like, "New York in the '80s, like,
Oh
it was
yeah,
bad." And it's so much nicer nowadays, and I'm like, "Oh, so you mean it was just Philly?" That's whenever they
yeah, yeah,
describe it, they're like,
yeah,
"It was
yeah.
druggies on every
Yeah.
corner."
I was like,
You know what I
"Mm."
mean? People
I
were
was like,
selling drugs out in the streets
that's
openly.
Kensington
I'm like,
Avenue.
"Oh, yeah, yeah, we got a spot like that, like an
Yeah,
hour and a half
yeah,
away."
yeah. I used to, cause like when I used to do Uber Eats, and it would take me to Kensington Avenue every once in a while, cause there was always like Chinese restaurants on there that were like, it's like a spray painted door. You go in, and then it's like big wall of glass and a little slot that they slide the food in for you too. I
Yeah.
go there all the time. That was literally the only neighborhood that I was just like, oh, this is like out of a movie. Like, this is.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think it got that bad, but I was like, this is like Escape from New York, like with snakes like running through the city. I was like, I didn't realize this shit got like as hair.
Yeah, I went to some roughy neighbors when I was Uber eating down in Philly. Um, and it was the same thing. It was like, what am I locking my car for? Like,
Yeah, what?
they have guns. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
like you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
if they
yeah.
want the car, like, they're gonna get
Do
the
it.
car. Like, I'm just leaving it unlocked at this point. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So what are we
yeah,
doing here? But a couple times, uh, like, because this was during COVID, so you couldn't go in the business. You had to stand
yeah.
on the corner.
And they would hand it out to
So
you, right?
I would be standing on the corner, like next to like a group of guys who like this is their corner, like where there's like 10 dudes just chilling there like
Yeah,
drinking
yeah,
out on the
yeah,
corner,
yeah. And you're
and but they would give me the pass. They would give me the pass. Like I would see them eyeballing me, and then like once they noticed that I was like waiting for an order from the
for
restaurant, they would like leave me alone. They'd be like, "All right, like
yeah,
this guy's just like getting food or whatever." But they would be looking me up and down like real hard
yeah.
before that.
Did they ever like
But
come up
one
and talk to
time,
you at all?
like they would like ask me like, "Yo, like what are you doing?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I'm just waiting here for food." Like, and they'd be like, oh, "Okay, no worries."
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like they'd be like looking at me, eyeball me, and like one guy from the crew would come over and like ask me, and I'd be like,
I'm
but
good. I'm
like
good.
dirt
I had that
bikes going up and
happen.
down streets in some of the
Mhm.
towns I was in. But one time I was on the way home and I stopped in one of the neighborhoods I was in to hit the ATM to like pull money out. I was in Crocs, dude, and there was like dudes on the front stoop of this like bodega that I went into, and I hit the ATM, and then like as I was coming out, uh, they started chirping at me, and they were like, "Yo, like where
Ooh.
are you from?" They started hitting me with the "Where you from?" Like
Yeah, yeah.
as I was already walking away, dude, I kicked the Crocs off so fast, dude, and full sprinted as far
Yeah,
as dude, I kicked
yeah,
the Crocs off. I didn't even think twice about it,
yeah.
dude. The Crocs came off, and I went bare feet down the side of the street the second I started doing. Because like I was walking away, and then I felt someone like like walking like he left the group like and was kind of following me a little bit
You
like
could
right
hear
around the
it. Yeah,
corner,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I could hear him chirping like, "Where you from? Where you from?" Like, and I
Yeah.
fucking
Ah.
I put the high gear immediately.
Yeah.
I was like, I know he can catch me, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
make a good chance if he really tries or not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, I went to I was delivering to this neighborhood, and I think it was like, it was barely even neighborhood. It's like one of those blocks by the big abandoned industrial section on the west side of Philly, right? So it's like
yeah,
kind of it's the part of Philly that they've all forgotten about. So it's like these cinder block homes right there, and the entire block was just like U shape, right? So I parked around the block, and then it was a Dunkin' Donuts order for like a bunch of donuts, and like I parked around the block, so parked, started walking, then made a right to get into the neighborhood, and as soon as I rounded the corner, it was just like 10 dudes, which honestly, it was mostly white dudes. So I good for them. I think that's a white gang
yeah.
that was over there, but like immediately the second I rounded the corner, they all stopped and looked at me, and one guy goes, "Hey, what you doing in here?" And I was like, just Uber Eats." And he's like, "Oh, what you got? Donuts? Can I have some?" And I was like, I was trying to be as like charismatic as possible. I was like, "Man, you got to talk to Teresa at like 482." So I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, as far as it goes, other than that, man,
Please don't
like,
hurt me.
he's like, "Okay, okay." And then like Teresa was like, "Hey," it's like, "I'm over," like she waved from the door. She's like, "I'm over here." They were like,
You're
"Oh,
like,
okay," and
"Where?"
they waved it off. But I was speed walking so fast. I was like, "Hey, you gotta
Yeah,
talk to
yeah.
her if you want from me." And
Yeah,
like, just
also,
handed,
Teresa, let me run as
yeah,
fast as I can to you. You
yeah,
gotta
and it
like
was,
try not to go too fast and not make it
yeah, yeah.
obvious, but you're like,
Yeah, I get paid
yeah,
by the order. That's why I'm walking so fast.
yeah, yeah.
That's all. But I also remember like because it was a U-shaped neighborhood. I was like, and I'm going out the other side of the neighborhood in my car. I'm not walking
Yeah,
past those
yeah,
guys
I'm
again.
going the other way.
But that was it. That
Yeah,
was the most interesting thing that happened, like Uber Eats wise.
Uber eating in Philly though, dude. When you're going to pick up orders in the city, dude, I'm parking wherever, dude. If there's no one on the
Four
sidewalk,
ways.
I'm pulling that bitch right out. Yeah,
Yeah,
four ways. Leave it in the
flankers wherever.
middle lane, dude. I'm leaving
Yeah,
that
yeah,
thing unlocked,
yeah.
dude. I don't give
I,
a fuck,
I
bro.
did that all the time.
Yeah, there's no options. What am I gonna do? Circle the block and look for parking for the next
Yeah,
20
exactly.
minutes?
Yeah, no
Like,
way.
no.
Four-way blinkers right there, good to go. I'm going to the Caribbean chicken place over in North
Yeah,
Philly.
hell yeah. You do go there a lot.
Yeah.
I'm
Uh,
hype. I'm like, I know this is gonna be a big order. Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. That's the funny thing too, is like you look at the neighborhood and you're like, I was like, but it's a $7 tip. I guess
Yeah.
I guess my
Uber
life's
Eats
worth seven
tells you what
dollars.
the tip is,
Yeah,
which is the best.
yeah.
Because
I,
DoorDash doesn't let you know until you get there, and they're always like, you're beat. I'm like,
yeah.
yeah.
I always hated when you do Uber Eats from like Center City because I think the orders would be so backed up. I always hated when it was a order within Center City, but then they would take you out of Center City. So like you
Yeah, and then you had to
Center
drive back
City,
in.
and it was like an extra $6 if you went to Center City on like a good day if they're running a bonus. I'd be like,
Yeah, they,
sweet.
they do like the hot zones.
Yeah, but then you
Yeah.
drop it off in like West Philly, and they're like, "All right, now your next order's in West Philly." I'm like, "No, take me back. I want to
Yeah,
come
take
back
me
to Center
back. I don't
City.
want to fucking do this shit over
I don't
here.
want to do this, dude. This guy's barely tipping. What am I doing?"
Yeah, it's
But
the
yeah,
worst.
well,
They should
dude,
all be government subsidized. They should all get healthcare, and
yeah, like
I mean, I
treated like
guess
actual
eventually they're gonna have
employees.
the robot ones.
That is
But how's
true.
that gonna work? An employee's gonna have to go out of the restaurant and put the food in the car, and then you're gonna have to get it from the car.
Yeah, and they're gonna have to like hope that that car didn't get robbed or mugged.
Dude,
Like,
I was the biggest dickhead too. Like, if you gave me bad, like information on where your house was, like if I dropped food off on your house and you
yeah,
call me and you're like, oh, the GPS always takes people there, but like it's actually around the corner.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
blocking your number immediately, dude. Go get that food
yeah,
yourself, bitch. I'm
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
fucking
I'm
getting
not
that
doing
shit.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't feel bad at all.
Block that number so quick, bro. I don't even think twice, bro.
But then you look at
Block,
your
block,
rating.
block.
Your rating's like
That's on
four
you,
point
bro.
4.3 stars. Oh fuck, maybe. Yeah, I
Yeah,
did. I was such a kiss ass because what I did is I bought a bag of lifesavers and then I printed out a hundred copies of this one sentence that said, "Thanks for helping me pay for college," right? And so,
nice.
and I had a stapler. So on every order, I would staple the lifesavers and that sentence to your bag, and then I would hand it
That's
to
a good
you.
idea.
And I got some fat ass tips every single. I would get like $20
That's a
tips from
great
like from
idea.
people. It was sweet actually. I was like,
He's like, "This is a
I look
picture of
back
my
and
little brother," and it's
yeah,
the kid
yeah,
from
yeah.
high school in the chair. Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah, yeah.
we're raising money for his
Money for
surgery,
medical
like
bills,
whatever you can do.
surgeries.
Yeah,
Yeah, I played that card so hard, dude. It was good. It was super smart. That was a good hustle of mine.
yeah. No,
Um,
that is a good idea.
that
That's a
or
great
yeah,
idea.
shit, dude. I'm so
Also,
glad that
I
pays
bet
the life
0%
over.
of people who do DoorDash are paying any taxes on that money. There's no
No
chance that
way.
anybody. There's no chance that anybody is paying any
Yeah.
taxes on money they made from DoorDash, bro.
No.
If you're
I'm never.
DoorDashing, the government's getting left out on that one,
Yeah.
buddy. All right, that's gonna come back in 20 years, dude.
Yeah, I was unemployed the entire time. Nice try.
Yeah, like there's no chance,
Yeah.
that they're breaking off a 1099.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh. We so we're at an hour 24 right now, which
Nice.
is we're crushing it. I want to squeeze this in real quick
Let's do it,
and see what we do. Honestly, this is because I need to make YouTube shorts, and so I formatted it so that we could edit this
dude. I
down to
like it.
a YouTube short. Which we're getting
Let's
some subscribers, dude. I don't know
go.
if you saw, we're starting to get a little bit of views coming in right now. So
Are we? I
yeah,
didn't see that.
our Spotify podcasts, I think we're averaging 100 like 128 listeners every week on
Let's
Spotify.
go.
I was like,
Dude, we gotta
yeah.
hashtag that shit, bro.
I've started throwing in
Hashtag the
some
fuck out.
some hashtags for it too. I'll do hashtag like I'll do the podcast, comedy podcast, and I'll do different ones. So like I'll hashtag like are you garbage? I do hashtag Cumtown sometimes. I do
What?
yeah,
That's hilarious.
hashtag like Matt and Shane Secret Podcast. So
Let's go.
I'm trying to hit the same demographics for them. But yeah, I figured we've been doing this for so long, and I figured that our audience doesn't really it doesn't know us. So I wrote down like 15 quick fire like get to know you questions.
I love it.
Okay, perfect. I'm so excited that we. Anyway, so number one. So what's your name?
Jacob.
We do name, age, hometown.
26, and I'm from Perkashitty, PA.
Perka shitty dude. Astrology
No one's
sign.
ever from there. No famous guy is ever from there.
No, we're known for two things. We're making baseballs and having a roller coaster that killed a bunch of people.
Yeah. Put me on the map. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Uh.
Favorite.
y- Anyway, yeah. Astrology sign.
I'm an Aries, I think,
Perfect. Fire sign. I
but
like
I don't
it.
believe in any of that. Although I did have one friend who like intensely learned about astrology so that he could get pussy. And I did. It was a smart move. It was a smart move. He knew
Yeah.
everything. He'd be like, "Oh, so you're an Earth sign, like down to the fire, and like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
oh, your birthday's between these dates." Like he would like he'd break it all down, and
Yeah.
bitches love that shit. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but they do eat that shit
Are
up.
you're Taurus, Mercury rising? I was like, oh, that's pretty good. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah, I'd be like, "Damn, yeah, okay, I see him. He's kicking
just
game."
2 steps ahead, dude. All right. Age, location, and method of your first nut.
uh, yeah, I'm 26. I'm in Dawson. I was in what grade was that? Sixth grade, maybe. Sixth
No way.
grade,
6th grade, first nut.
fifth or sixth, probably.
Thing.
Why is that
Congratulations.
early or young?
I don't know. Actually, I was 7th grade. We're fine. That's kosher.
I think I was in sixth grade. I was at Michael Blash's house, who I seen at a bar recently, and I've told the story on other podcasts. And I was like, "Why was that so weird, man? Why was that a weird interaction?" And then I thought back to all the times I talked about jerking off in his basement on
Yeah, yeah,
podcasts. But yeah, no, I had never seen any porn ever in my life, and we left the TV on. We went to bed. He went upstairs, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and porno was on the TV, dude. And I remember I jerked my wiener like I was trying to start a fire. Like had I had hands on each side, and I was rolling it in my hands like this. And then eventually,
Until something
I
came
didn't
out.
know how to do it, dude. I was going like this, like I was trying to start a fire, like I was
Yeah.
fucking outdoor
Is it
boys.
hot? Is it supposed to hurt?
Yeah. Oh, dude, my dick was 80 grit sandpaper, dude. I had no clue what I was doing. I was, dude, callousing that puppy, bro.
Dude,
I was like, maybe when you just build the scabs go away when you just build it up,
yeah,
resistance.
yeah, it's fine. Dude, the first time I did it, I used like 3 fingers, right? And so I thought that's how like for like years, like maybe like 3 years, that's how you
You
have
had
to
a
do it.
knuckleball.
I said I can only do completion if I knuckleball it. I didn't realize I could wrap the whole hand around it. So yeah, I was torquing it like this for like 3 years, dude.
Let's go. That rules.
Oh, I love you, mom. I'm sure you're gonna listen to this. Favorite gang.
Favorite gang.
I
Oh,
just know
dude,
you used
that's
to watch
hard.
Gangland a lot on Spike.
Oh, dude, I love Gangland. I love the Chappelle show where they're doing Gangland and everybody's got guns and stuff. And the one guy has like the old timey dynamite thing that like you
Yeah,
press
yeah,
down
yeah.
and it like explodes. Yeah, that's the best. But there's these black dudes in Alaska who've been popping off recently. I guess pe-
But-
I guess no one knew that there was blacks in Alaska, so
yeah, the
now they're
gang's
like
called
making
the
YouTube
Four of
videos.
Us. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like those guys who go to the most dangerous like hoods in the world. And he
yeah.
has one out now where he like went to the most dangerous hood in Alaska.
In
And there's like a
Alaska.
black gang in Alaska. I was like, what has happened that you have ended up there? This is crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
That's some white
Why
people
are you
shit.
guys up here? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The wrong turn? Like what's happening? Like we're not mad you're here.
Yeah. You
Like
know it stinks up here, right?
yeah, right?
You know this is the worst.
Yeah. Shoot. Favorite dinosaur.
Well, I don't believe in dinosaurs. I'm just getting that out of the way right now.
Okay, that's fine.
But
There's a right answer,
if I
dude.
had to pick a favorite, it's so hard, dude. Because dinosaurs are sick. If they're real, they're sick.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
I just think we don't know so much about what happened back in the day, and then they dig up a pile of bones, and they're like, "We got it. We
Mhm.
know exactly what it
Yeah,
looked like."
yeah.
I'm like, "What, dude? Like, you
What
guys don't
how are
know
you
shit
doing that?
about what
Yeah.
happened back in the day."
Just a bunch of
So,
nerds.
but I don't know. One of the dinosaurs had like a medieval mace on the back end. Come on,
Yeah, I know what you're talking
that's
about.
some bullshit.
There's no
Whichever
way.
dinosaur had the medieval mace on the back end, you want me to buy that shit? You know
Yeah.
that this motherfucker had a mace on the back, okay? That's almost like a little kid drew a dinosaur and was like,
Yeah.
"I'm throwing a weapon on this bitch."
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know
Dinosaur
exactly what
had
you're
a
talking
mace
about.
on the. What dinosaur is that? That's a bullshit
There's
dinosaur.
no bone that looks like that? You tell me there's a
Yeah,
mace bone? Yeah.
no other animal has ever had that ever. What are we
Yeah.
talking about? I
Shit,
don't even
dude.
know what dinosaur that is.
Yeah, me neither, me neither, but everyone knows exactly what you're talking about when you
Yeah, all right, good. I'm glad.
Yeah, yeah. That was someone's kid that was like, "Daddy, what if it was like this?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. We're shooting from the hip. It could be
Yeah, who
whatever
the
you
fuck
want."
are we asking? Yeah, it's got a
Yeah.
motherfucking mace on the back, I think.
Yeah,
They're like, "What
whatever,
bone
dude.
is this?" He's like, "That's the mace bone,
That
obviously, dude. It hangs off
duh.
the tail." He
Yeah.
fucking swings it around.
Yeah. All right, the Greek king Menelaus invaded Troy with a thousand ships just to get back his wife Helen. What country would you invade with one night with Ana de Armas?
Uh, I honestly, dude, I think if you unleash me in North Korea, dude,
Oh man,
I
dude.
think they're so feeble and malnutrition. I think I could probably
Malnourished.
just get my way through a couple hundred of them.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Just fucking
Yeah.
body shots, dude. Just right in the tummy, dude. They haven't eaten in weeks. They're fucking done, dude.
Yeah, yeah. And they know that they're like, well, they're like, they said we'll get a cup of rice if we go up and actually fight the white dude. So I guess we'll go up there and
True,
try
yeah.
our best.
That is true. That might be a
Yeah,
bad move. They don't have a choice but to fight. Everybody's
yeah.
gonna be coming at you, bro.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That is true. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I don't know.
Those are the one fellas that like when I see the Ukrainian drone footage highlight reel, I feel bad for those dudes because it's just a bunch
Oh,
of toddlers
100%.
out there. They have no idea what's going on.
Oh, the North
They,
Koreans. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I
Yeah, they're
saw
just jerking off. That rules.
I saw this one guy blow himself up recently because he's like they'd never seen a grenade before, and
Yeah,
he's just
yeah, yeah.
and so like he's like he didn't realize that like when you let go it's a timer. So this dude like the drone
How many
caught him.
did they send there? Is what I want to know, dude.
I
How
think
many
it keeps
people can
sending
they
bodies.
spare? It's crazy.
Oh man, but yeah, that poor dude was like, all right, like I'm gonna throw the drone, and he's looking at the drone, and he let go of everything, and you can see in his brain he's doing like the math for the aim, and then the whole thing just explodes right in his hand because he didn't realize it was a
Oh.
timer. Yeah, dude, felt felt bad for that dude.
Yeah, you do feel bad for him. You're like,
Oh
oh
yeah,
man, dude.
not even a fair shot,
They're
dude.
like, look, I know your whole life we told you that there was only one country on the entire planet, and it was our
Yeah,
country.
yeah, and we're the best
But
at everything.
we were lying. There's another country halfway across the world, and we got to help them because they're in a fight with another country that
That
you didn't
country.
know about. You're like,
Yeah,
what,
yeah,
dude?
yeah, yeah,
Trying to
yeah,
explain that to them?
yeah.
They're like, we need you to help us. You know what I mean?
It's the equivalent of like it's the equivalent of like if your dad was self-taught jujitsu and he decided to teach you jujitsu and then it's your first tournament and you just get your ass
Yeah, like,
you're the
yeah, you have
best.
no
You
clue.
have no reference, right? You're the best that's ever been. It's gonna be
Yeah.
great. You're gonna go out there and
I
kick
know
some
you
ass,
haven't had
kid.
any bullets or gun training experience.
Yeah,
You know, but here you go. Get out there, kid.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Uh,
whoever let that blind kid play in the football game. You know what I'm
yeah,
talking about? Where he's
yeah.
just running around like,
I know exactly.
just like, get out there.
And they say you can do anything if you put your mind to
Yeah,
it. Yeah, yeah. And then the screamo song of like, "What the fuck is
yeah,
going on?"
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
poor dude. That's bad parents right there, man.
Yeah, you can't be doing that, dude.
Oh shoot.
Like when we went
Um.
to the Special Olympics when we were growing up, when we volunteered there, remember?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
volunteered,
Didn't you do a race?
dude.
I can't
We
remember.
did. Oh, that was one time, but we did a second time in Jersey, and we like referee
Yeah,
baseball, I think.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
But dude, they have powerlifting in the Special Olympics. Oh, dude, I want to fucking be in that section, dude. I want to volunteer referee for that section every year. You know the numbers that these kids are probably putting up, bro?
Throwing up, dude.
Fucking throw more plates
Yeah,
on
yeah.
that bitch, dude. The fucking bar is better. I'm sorry. Back to your
No, no,
what is that? What is that?
I'd be that one boxer ref that always makes faces anytime someone gets knocked out. Like it's the first time he's ever seen a knockout before. You ever seen that guy? He's like this skinny little black referee, and every time someone gets knocked out, he's just like, "Oh," And like, yeah, he makes the best face. That would be me if I was the Special Olympics powerlifting referee. I'd be dumbfounded every time they power clean 500 pounds over their head.
Yeah. Oh my
Like,
god.
are you seeing this? Oh,
Yeah.
and he's natty.
Yeah, 100% natty. He's like fucking drinking chocolate milk, and then he just sits down on the bench and throws up 500 on deadlift.
Yeah. On
But dude,
Rosen
I
River's
remember we
chocolate milk.
refereed a baseball game, and they were shit talking each other, and they were calling each other Jeffy as like a slur that they
From
were
the
using.
ringer.
Yeah, from the ringer, they're like, "Come on, Jeffy." That's what they were calling each other. I was
Oh
like,
shoot,
"Yo, what
dude!
the
Whoa!
fuck, dude? These guys rule."
They invented their own slurs. Good for them, dude.
Yeah, let's go.
When the fuck did we get ice cream?
Yeah, class.
Shoot. I'm trying to think of other funny ones that I wrote down. Um. Oh, okay. There's a right answer to this one. Um. You just get done a date with the girl of your dreams. You drop her off at her house. You say goodnight, and you get back into the car. What's the first thing you do when you get back in your car?
Dude, let out a mean fart, dude.
Yeah, that's it. That's the right
That's
answer,
it.
dude.
That's it. Yeah.
That's exactly what the right answer
Oh,
is.
dude,
You
I've been there
you immediately
before,
rip
bro.
past.
Dude, you got it, dude.
The
I'll
girlfriend I
just
had.
break it down, dude. Strictly Amish household, dude. I can fart, but she can't, dude.
Yeah, 100%.
We go right back to the 1800s. You're not allowed to. Okay, I get free
Yeah,
range. You have no
yeah,
rights.
yeah.
Okay.
I remember I went through such a phase where I was so grossed out by farts. Like, and it was to my own detriment. They're hilarious now, but I don't know what it was, but like farts really like they freaked me out. I remember I had a bad white girl moment when we were at the lake house in Sydney. I don't remember the context, but like we were like playing around. She was sitting on me and somebody was pinning me down, and Sydney just let out this huge ass right on top of me, dude. And
That rules.
I remember getting queasy and going to the bathroom thinking I was
Nice.
pussy. Anyway. But yeah, that's the first thing you do. You for
You
any
got it.
teenagers listening, you hold it in,
You
right,
got it.
until the date's over, and then you go. I had one with my high school
Dude,
girlfriend.
these
We were
kids.
just starting out. It was so bad I was biting the steering wheel in my car as I'm letting it out.
Oh,
I know, dude.
just absolutely releasing, dude.
Yeah, it was bad, dude.
These kids nowadays, they're fucking deviants, though, dude. They're not fucking worried about
Don't
it.
care, man, dude.
They're
Chivalry's dead,
fucking
dude.
drinking piss and fucking having orgies or whatever the fuck they're doing nowadays.
Yeah, that's so European of them.
They don't care about a fart, dude. A little fart gets in there, dude. They
Yeah,
just go
are you
back to
talking
doing
about, man?
blow at 14 or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good point. These kids like they've got it good here. I'll give them that. They've got a good life set up for them where you can fart in front
Dude,
of your
it's
girlfriend
crazy.
and you can do white recreational drugs in front of your parents. They're not going to say anything.
Yeah, you can do the wildest shit in front of your parents.
Yeah.
Dude, I had a parent who I went to high school with who would let us party at her house, and she would make Bacardi 51 shots and light them on
Yeah.
fire and drop them.
Yeah.
She would make Jaeger
Yeah.
bombs for us,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, what the fuck?
I had a buddy. His mom was a ex NFL cheerleader for the Eagles, and then they were going through a nasty divorce, and she won the house in the divorce, and it was a big ass house. So she was like
Party time.
party every time, dude. Yeah. So yeah,
She's like, that's
she
that
would
mom always
like,
gets railed by one of the kids too.
well, dude, that's what happened, dude.
I knew it happened, dude.
Yeah.
That mom gets railed, dude. You think
Yeah.
that mom's not getting railed? That mom's getting
That
railed.
mom's
We all
getting
know that
real, dude.
mom's
There's
getting
a
railed.
reason she wants to be the cool mom's dick.
Yeah, someone's pounding her down.
I remember she grabbed Tommy's like man boob. Like Tommy and I
Tommy
would
railed
go.
the mom?
No, he didn't. He
Oh,
probably, to be honest, he really wanted to because like when we were kids growing up, everyone's like, "Yo, she'll have sex with you when you." But by the time we hit 18, she had definitely like she'd lost the charm. Like she kind of let herself
but you
go a
would do
little
it just
bit.
for the nostalgia?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. And I remember we were 17 and like we were going upstairs to like go and drink at the party because it was in the garage house and the upstairs the garage house, which was bigger than our house, was like kind of their party room, right? And
That's the
yeah,
best. When someone's like,
grabbed-
yeah, this is just a leftover
that's
spare room that
fine.
nobody
Yeah,
uses.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, my entire house.
Yeah, it's fucking enormous. Thanks for rubbing it in, dude. Yeah. You have
They're
three
like, you see that
bedrooms?
cooler over? You see that fridge over there? And you like open it up, and it's just like stocked like a fucking Wawa
Oh,
fridge.
yeah.
You're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. There's no leftover. This is all fresh. No moldy leftovers in the back. You guys are rich.
Yeah.
But yeah, so his mom grabbed Tommy's titty as he's walking up the stairs, and like we both stopped because we're both going there, and he's like, "Ugh," and she goes, "Tommy, come here real quick, bud," and she's like still holding onto his chest, and she's like, "How old are you again?" And he goes, 17. She goes, "All right, bud. Well, you have a good night." And then she like slapped him on the butt, and we both ran up the stairs.
Yo, she
I was
was,
like, dude, his mom was trying to fuck you. And he's
dude, she was like, give it a year.
yeah, almost.
Tommy should have lied.
Tommy 100% should have lied.
You
But
gotta
I think
lie.
I think it was like as soon as we graduated high school, like that buddy moved in with his dad because he was tired of his mom fucking all of his friends. So,
Ah, yeah, that would
yeah,
be tough.
yeah. I feel you, dude. Sorry, man.
Because then you can't be friends with that guy anymore. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
think I think it was kind of like enough of my friends have like had sex with my mother that I can't even show face in this town. I got to start fresh. Like he wiped the board
Yeah.
completely. I don't know anyone
No,
that's
you
fucked
got
me.
it. Sometimes you gotta shake the edge of sketch, dude. You
Yeah,
gotta just
and-
fucking restart, bro. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Give it a good old restart.
Uh, we'll do one more question. Uh, so all right, there's a devil's triangle between you and a famous quarterback slash coach duo. Which coach and quarterback are you letting rail you?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a good one. I like to go pretty deep into it. I want to go below the surface with these questions.
Okay, you're digging down deeper into these things.
Yeah. There's good
Quarterback
answers and
coach
bad answers.
duo. Yeah, I mean it's hard because I'm thinking about which quarterbacks I would want to pipe me down
Yeah.
because
The coach is going to be in the
I want
front for
someone
sure.
who's going to be central. You know what? I want someone who needs to work for it. I want one of the shittier teams. Like give me the Jaguars
Mm,
quarterback. This guy, he's going to
Duval.
be fucking putting in an effort, dude. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he
Yeah.
knows he needs this. Whereas you let Tom Brady blow your back out. Like, he doesn't
Yeah.
even care, dude. He can have
Yeah.
anybody he wants. You know what I mean? He's not even gonna be
Yeah.
trying. He's gonna be fucking watching TV. He's not even gonna be like kissing on my neck or give me butterflies on my tummy or anything like that. So,
Yeah. I feel like he'd be doing it so hard because he's trying to look for Bill Belichick's approval. So
and you
like
know he's in the cuck chair. You know Belichick in the cuck chair in the corner, dude.
100%, dude.
While Tom pipes me
100%.
down.
Fuck, dude. I don't know if I thought about this too much then.
Dude, I would make sweet love to Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, dude. Andy Reid, I would just love to see him in a sexual. That'd be great, dude.
Like you'd have to find his dick under his gut. Here
Dude, I bet he's a deviant.
you
I bet
are.
Andy Reid fucking. He's like, I have this mustache, right? I'm like, oh no, Andy Reid,
Yeah.
it tickles your beehole, boy. And fucking, I bet he flips the switch. Like he acts like he's all like solid and innocent now, but I
Yeah,
bet he gets in the bedroom and he's just
he
a
is.
fucking absolute deviant.
Yeah, he's a sexually suppressed Mormon, dude. Like
That is,
anything's
oh, I
kosher
forgot
with
he's
cooking
Mormon.
sheets, dude, man.
He is Mormon. I forgot about that.
He's the ginger walrus, and you know what? Walruses are known for having the largest penis to body ratio of any other mammal.
You think he goes to the temple and he's like, oh yeah? Were you gonna say that you were the largest or?
No, 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 no. I know that
Oh,
joke,
did you say
but it's
second
true.
largest or largest?
No, no, I said largest.
Okay.
I know it's supposed to be second largest, but the image of that video going walrus like sucking his own dick at the aquarium got stuck in my head as I was saying it. So I couldn't even say
Okay.
second largest because
Wait,
I'm
there's a
not bigger than
walrus that
that,
sucked
dude.
his own dick in the
Yeah, there's a
aquarium?
walrus sucking his dick in the aquarium on the
That rules, dude.
yeah.
Let's go.
I was like, hell yeah, dude. Right in front of a
Dude,
field trip.
dude, we were talking about early YouTube back in the day, like how stupid people were, like before you could like download videos. Like
Yeah.
someone would just like email you a video and it would take like a half an hour to download, and then it would just be that monkey that's on his back just peeing in his mouth, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
you're like,
yeah. Ah!
it's like the funniest shit you ever seen, dude. You're like, like
Yeah,
running around the house. That's all
yeah.
you had, dude.
Dude, dudes,
Couldn't get
dudes grabbing their cat, like putting a shirt on their cat and sneaking their arms in there, and then making their cat play the
playing the
piano.
piano. Yeah,
That was
yeah, yeah.
12 million
I
views
mean,
easily, dude.
quadrillion views, dude. Like buy
Yeah,
a new house. Like
yeah.
those dudes just absolutely cashed out.
I listened to a song once. It was a parody of back when parodies were popular and Weird Al was at his peak. Because Weird Al owned YouTube for forever. That dude, you'd
That
watch
is
his
true.
videos all the time, dude. And then I listened to one parody of This guy did a cover of Friends in Low Places, the
Okay.
cover was got crabs from Darth Vader, and I was 12, and I thought that was the funniest thing.
That was the best thing I ever heard in
Yeah,
my
crabs from
life,
Darth
dude.
Vader.
You're like, this guy's a
Showed
genius.
everybody.
We can't get enough of this.
Yeah, and then every once in a while, you would if you were like at your buddy's house and he hadn't seen it before, you'd play Dance with the Devil by Immortal Technique, and you'd be like, "Yo, listen
Yeah,
to this
yeah. You
shit,
throw that
dude."
on there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yo, he rapes his mom, dude. This shit is
Mate,
crazy.
the end of this song is crazy. Yeah, and then look,
Yeah,
he
100%.
said he was there. It's real.
Everybody does that.
Yeah.
Everybody did that back in the day. Yeah.
There's always one sleepover where someone plays Dance with the Devil by Immortal Technique, and then another person will be like, "Should we watch Two Girls, One Cup?" And you're like, "Well, I guess we have to. It's time."
I always just assumed that like the FBI would raid your house if you Googled like two girls,
Two
like
Girls.
anything like that. I was too afraid to
Yeah,
ever Google two girls, one
yeah,
cup.
yeah. I used to get scared when you turn on porn and it was the pop up of like, the police have been notified of you like entering this
Yeah,
website
yeah.
unless you give us like a cash deposit of $100, and I'd be like, "Oh shit, I gotta change my name.
No, they got me.
I gotta move. This is the family computer on." I'm watching porn on my Wii. I didn't think this would happen to me.
Did I tell you
Oh
about the Lincoln joke I heard the other day?
no, keep going.
So a
You.
Lincoln son says to his Lincoln dad, he says, "Dad, I need $100," and the dad says, "$60? Why do you need $20?"
That's good. Oh, that's pretty good. $60. Why do you
I
need?
heard that the other day.
I was good. I hadn't heard that one before.
Yeah, me neither. I was like, "Oh, a new one I haven't heard. That's
Yeah.
crazy."
Yeah. Shit, dude. Also to answer my own question, Mike McDaniel's and Puka Nakua, I think would be good.
This is true.
Yeah.
Wait, Puka
I,
Nakua? You're
or
talking
not.
about
Sorry, not Puka Nakua. Nakua.
you're talking about Veggie
Tua.
Tales.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tua Tagovailoa. Yeah,
Tua Tagovailoa. Sorry. I'm not good with
yeah.
Polynesian
Mike
names.
McDaniel's. I bet he would fuck it up, dude. I mean, that
Yeah.
those glasses, dude. He's definitely a mean cooter eater, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I
He's in
mean?
there
I could
so
imagine him
hard.
just munching box, bro.
His glasses are foggy. He's got to wipe his glasses so he can get back in there and see what he's doing. Like,
Shouts
oh,
out to Mike McDaniels. We know you're just tearing it up, dude, on the
yeah,
weekends.
dude. Yeah, man. Hey, your
I bet
best
he
friend.
rails his wife harder than any other coach in the NFL, if I had to guess. If I had to put
Ooh,
money on one guy railing their wife the hardest,
I think that's a
Mike
respectable
McDaniels
spot.
lays down
Yeah,
some pipe, dude.
I guarantee it. He does strike
Although,
me.
well, apparently Bill's laying down some pipe too, because he's got
Yeah,
that
which
girlfriend
is
now.
who apparently controls his entire life and doesn't let him speak up in interviews anymore.
Good on him, dude.
Dude, I think Mike McDaniels has the kind of like he has that chill swagger of a guy with a thigh slapper. Like
Yeah,
he has that confidence of like, yeah, it's a hog.
yeah. We all know Mike McDaniels has just a massive cock.
Yeah.
I think that's safe to say.
If you want to send us pics, Mike, we can
Yeah,
rate it for you.
we'll take a peruse.
Yeah, I know
Maybe
a
I have
lot
a
of
friend who
people.
might be interested.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are going to be a lot of viewers are going to be curious after this episode. So I'm
Dude, speaking of that, Corey Sandhagen, one of the UFC guys, started an OnlyFans for his nuts.
wait,
And
what?
he said he made $2 million in the first month, and he just was posting
No
pictures of
way.
his nuts on there. I was like, dude, I know he's famous, but $2 million in the first month, I'll take 50 grand, dude. I don't give a fuck, dude.
What
Give
am
me
I
50
doing with my
G's.
life, dude? Oh my gosh. Wait,
Dude,
I'm
you
this
should start
close to
plugging a
selling.
Nuts OnlyFans on your
Yeah,
No
yeah.
Dogs in the Race, dude.
I
Nuts
do. I
only,
would.
dude.
I would do
Come
a
on, they'll still
butthole.
let you into heaven for that.
Yeah, yeah. You kidding me?
Yeah,
Yeah, Joseph Smith didn't
that's
think of that.
yeah. Come on, yeah.
Didn't even know
Show your
what
nuts and
pictures
do some
were.
whippets, dude. Let's
Yeah.
go, bro. It's all
Yeah.
above board.
Yeah. You telling me when he was praying about what was kosher and what wasn't, he was thinking of whipped cream cans? No, there's no way, dude.
Nah, nah. He didn't even know what OnlyFans was.
Yeah,
Come on, what are we
yeah.
doing here? Joseph Smith never knew about OnlyFans.
The booty holes. I would do booty hole pictures, by the way. I think my sack.
Oh, what?
I've got a
Throw
good
that in
stack. I'm
there,
not
dude.
gonna lie, but yeah, I think like if I could show the Dark Star our little South Mouth photos, and I could like doodle like googly eyes on it or something like that. If I could put it in fun places, like the Eiffel Tower, or
Yeah, they
like
get the glasses and the nose combo.
yeah,
Put that
yeah,
above it.
exactly. Yeah, put
Yeah,
above it, and then I'm at like the Coliseum. I think I can make a good amount of money with that, dude.
I think it's a great idea. I think you should give
Sure.
it a shot.
Yeah,
No
we're
one's
gonna be
gonna
able.
know. How would they
No
ever
one's
be able
gonna.
to identify it?
What are you gonna talk about?
How? Yeah,
There's only like 24 people on this planet that's seen my butthole, so we're good.
yeah. How would they identify that?
How would they do? What was that one time? I don't remember uh who it was. Actually, I think I remember what friend of it was it of yours, but there was one time I just walked out on the back porch and you and your friends were butt chugging homemade moonshine iced tea
Yeah, we did put
in
a
your
butt
ass.
chug.
And
We did give someone a butt chug.
I walked out. I remember I was like, what are they doing out there? And I opened the door like maybe like 2 feet and I saw what happened and just like nonverbal, I just shut the door and just slowly backed away. I was like, that's too weird. I was like, I don't want to know.
Yeah, we gave our friend a butt chug, dude.
Yeah.
Hilarious. With some moonshine, but it didn't work. So then we put a Corona bottle in his ass, and the Corona bottle did go in. We seen the
Wonders.
bottle, we seen the water and the Corona bottle go down. It did work. It did work.
Yeah, okay, good.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, but it just
I,
shot out afterwards. It doesn't stay in there, dude. It's
yeah.
I don't really think it's. I don't think your butthole works like that, bro. I
Yeah,
don't think that's
yeah. No.
yeah.
You ever seen that stripper in like Tijuana? That like video that went around. She put like an entire like I think it was a bottle of Tito's in her ass, and then she got on all fours on the stage, and then she started spinning in circles super fast, shooting
Yes,
the Tito's out into the crowd.
yes, that rules.
Yeah,
I have seen
yeah.
that.
Good for her, dude.
That absolutely rules.
I think they played that on Tosh.0.
The ping pong balls is classic.
Oh yeah.
Or the Lizzo banana. Get the Lizzo banana.
Yeah, man. That's
Force your background dancers to eat it.
yeah. Come on. And then all the memes of like hippos running, and it's like Lizzo running from her allegations.
Yeah.
Awesome, good.
Which, I mean, come on. What do we even care about anymore?
We're in
Someone you
Amsterdam.
ate a banana out of a fucking snatch. Who hasn't done that?
Okay. Yeah, look for real, dude. This is the era of open sexuality. Okay.
Yeah.
You can get pegged. Eating a banana out of your ass is nothing.
Yeah. Here's something I wrote down the other day. Thank God I can't suck my own dick because I think it would debilitate my life if that was an option for me. Like,
Yeah,
thank God I
yeah.
wasn't blessed with the flexibility
To suck my own
of
dick.
being able to do because I don't know if I would be able to hold a job, man.
I'd be
I don't
unemployed.
know. They'd be like, "What are you doing in there, Jake?" I'm
Yeah.
like, "Leave me alone.
Stop.
Leave me alone."
It's okay. Yeah.
They're like, "Get a job. I can't stop."
We know you're in there
Yeah,
sucking your own dick. Get
yeah.
out
It's
right
funny.
now.
Like
Yeah.
God did that. He's like, "I'm putting this thing just far enough away that most men won't be able to do it." You know, God had to
Yeah.
think of that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? He was like,
Yeah.
we gotta stretch the torso length a little bit here.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
guys are gonna be fucking just going to town all
Yeah.
day."
We need an extra rib down there just in case.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's what I made this one meme, and it was a meme about trying to suck your own dick. And the only thing stopping you is like your ribs, right? And it was like it's when Doc Ock breaks into the subway in Spider-Man 2, and Doc
yeah,
Ock was your mouth, and then Spider-Man was my penis, and then when Joey Diaz comes up and he's like, if you want a piece
yeah,
of him, you're gonna get through me, and then I wrote like, ribs, right? And
yeah, yeah.
some guy commented like, "Ew, who the f does this?" And I just commented back, I was like, "Stop lying. Every man here has thought of it or tried it at least once."
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't matter if it's 2 seconds or 5 minutes. It still counts as you trying. It's like, and I was like, "It's okay. You're in good company." And that comment got like 10,000 upvotes right there.
Yeah, it's
I was
good.
like, I knew it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, that
Um,
rules.
yeah, shit, dude. That's a good note to end on. I think trying to suck your own dick.
Let's go. Thank the
Yeah,
Lord.
yeah. Thank the
I
Lord.
was
This is
blessed with the inability to do that, dude.
I'd
I'd
never.
be yeah, I'd be screwed, dude.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have
You-
a girlfriend, dude. It'd be bad. I wouldn't even leave the house.
yeah.
I
No.
probably
No.
wouldn't have ever developed a friendship relationship in my
Yeah.
life. I probably would have
Nah.
been a weirdo loner.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. I would never communicate with people ever.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have been able to talk. I wouldn't have leave my room for like weeks on end. I'd
Yeah.
be like when they find like those kids who are lost in the jungle and they like lose how to like talk.
Yeah. Yeah. Just you're
I'm like
36. Oh, wait.
coming out of my room like
What do you mean? We don't have troops in Afghanistan anymore? When did that
yeah.
happen?
Yeah, the Japanese guys who were still hiding.
Yeah, they still think it's World War II. They had to get his officer from World War II to come and tell him that it was over.
He's like, it's
Yeah.
not over.
Mom's like, you're 36. It's time to get a job and stop sucking your own dick, Jake.
Yeah.
Can't stop
He's
mom.
like, I used to go into the backyard and I would chase all the neighborhood cats. And I would pretend to be a dinosaur.
Don't ever
One
lose
time
your
my
dad.
dad said, "You're not a fucking dinosaur, get a job."
You're 17. It's time to get a job. You're not a dinosaur anymore.
And he's like, "I lost my dinosaur.
Don't
I
ever
was
lose my
never able to
dinosaur.
get it back." He's like, "One time I went in the backyard and I put my hands up, but I couldn't do it anymore. I lost my dinosaur."
It's not bad. I couldn't do it anymore. Don't That's the funniest
And
speech.
they're like, "What?" dude?"
Oh man, there's a punk
Uh,
song. There's a punk song I really like called "I Lost My Dinosaur." And like the intro to that punk song is that speech that that he gives about
it's the
it.
best.
It's so good. Oh,
That's the best.
just to get it out there because like I also wrote down something this week. It's not going to be anywhere near as said, but I said, what if Jackie Robinson wasn't actually a good baseball player in the Negro Leagues? But the fact that it was the 1960s and every white guy was super out of shape and smoking 6 packs a day, that's the reason Jackie Robinson's remembered. Because
True, yeah.
he smoked all these fat white guys in baseball leagues.
True.
They're super
That is true. They
honestly.
get one black guy out there, dude. Game over, bro.
Yeah, I was like,
Pack it up, dude.
yeah, because you never hear about his Negro Leagues like stats. So I was like, what if he wasn't even a good player? And he's like, I'll go try it over there. Like that's why they brought him in. They're like, he's not really good. We'll let him go play with us, dude. You know, and then he just comes and cleans house with everybody.
I don't know what position he was, but imagine being the guy who's on first and they're like, Greg, you're sitting today. We're playing Jackie, and then you look at him, you're like, fuck. You're like, God damn it, dude.
I'm never gonna play again.
Yeah, I'm done, dude.
I can't do it, dude.
Yeah.
He just stole 4, but he stole home. I'm never gonna
Yeah.
be able to do that.
He's just like, I guess I'll smoke these cigarettes that the doctor gave me.
yeah.
In the dugout.
Yeah. That's like what Shane Gillis said was like every kid in junior high, every white kid they thought they were going to be the next NBA player until they played the black team and they saw all the kids dunking and they're like, well,
Yeah.
there goes
All
that
right.
dream.
Yeah. Maybe I'll concentrate on football instead.
yeah, exactly. Oh man. All right, dude. It's been 2 hours.
Let's go. That was a
Yeah,
long
dude.
one.
That was a long one. That was a good episode.
Hell yeah.
That was a great one, dude.
Hell yeah, brother. God bless. Love you, dog.
All right. Love you, dude. Have a good night. Tell Mary I said hi.
I will. There she
Hello,
is.
Mary.
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 Mary. Hey, Mary.
Mary.
Hey,
What?
Mary.
That was so long. It took you.
What? I have my headphones on.
I know you have your headphones on. I was just calling you for a while.
Yeah.
Why do you do this every time? Leave me alone.
Oh, no.
All right, brother.
All right,
Oh,
dude.
you're
I'll
leaving.
see.
Bye.
I'll see you guys.
All right,
Yeah. Bye.